The Capitals opened up Game 1 with a convincing 3-1 victory. But a playoff series between the Capitals and Islanders is rarely determined without sudden death.
Well, it's the red line, looking to float into the moving in, he shoots, and Cavalacci stops that one again. The Islanders win it by 4. Top of the left wing board, Thornton trying to hold it in, does. Blackley puts it in the corner. Here's Holt with Ferraro in front, the pass, the goal! Islanders win! With Ferraro to the front of the net. He shoots. He scores!
Ray Ferraro has staked the Islanders to a commanding 3-1 lead in the series. Now the Caps' backs are to the wall as they face elimination. Can the Caps stay alive, or will the Isles continue to rise? Game 5 is next on HTS. Presents the Stanley Cup playoffs. Tonight, live from the Capitol Center, it's Game 5 of the Patrick Division semifinals between the New York Islanders and the Washington Capitals. Capitals game coverage on HTS is brought to you by Miller Lite. It's everything you want a beer to be. By Subaru with all-wheel drive, reliable and durable engineering. Subaru is truly what to drive. By Safeway, nobody does it better. And by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. It's a must-win situation for the Washington Capitals. The Islanders, on the strength of 3 consecutive overtime victories, lead the series 3-1. Good evening, everybody. I'm Kenny Albert, joined, as always, by Craig Laughlin. Craig, do or die for the Washington Capitals. Ray Ferraro, 2 consecutive overtime game winners at the Nassau Coliseum, and the Islanders staring at a second round meeting with Pittsburgh unless the Capitals can win tonight.
Yeah, and the Capitals, you know, even though they're down a little bit confidence-wise, they know that they're at home. They can put some good things together. They've played a great series, both teams have, so they've got to be confident in the fact that they've got to win the game in the 60 minutes. I don't think they want to go into overtime once again with this Islander team.
And the last 2 overtimes, 2 nights ago and 4 nights ago in Uniondale, the man of the hour for the New York Islanders, number 20, Ray Ferraro. He has a goal in all 4 games this series.
And he's a silent leader for this Islander club. You talk about Pierre Turgeon, all the big gunners. Everybody forgets Ray Ferraro, and he just goes out and plays his game. The injury has really helped his work because he's not as fatigued as most of the players. He's getting double shifted. The Capitals centers especially better watch this guy and key on Turgeon also. You've also got to look at Tom Curvers. This is a guy who didn't play the whole series until last game. He comes in, he's a power play specialist, and their power play was 1 for 5. A huge improvement in that category. And on the road, if the Islanders expect to wrap it up tonight, their power play's got to be clicking, because I feel the Capitals are going to come out flying and are going to get some great chances early against Healy.
On the Capitol side, defenseman Kevin Hatcher set a career high for points during the regular season, but has not scored a point here in the playoffs.
Well, he's been the same as all the other Capitals, except for Al Iafredi, who got a couple last game. Kevin Hatcher has really been concentrating on his defensive side of his game. That's really helped out the Islanders' cause, I think. Their forwards are not as used to the Capitals jumping up in the play, so it's easier for them to defend. Look for Hatcher to be more active tonight, especially at home. And when you talk about the Capitals, you can't forget number 32. Same as Ferraro, he's the same guy in this Caps team. Dale Hunter, 5 goals in the first 2 games here at the Capitol Center. I look for him to have a huge game when he's on the brink of elimination. Any team he's played for, you better watch out if you're in a New York Islanders jersey, because Hunter's going to come to play for sure.
Well, we'll see if Dale Hunter can work that playoff magic here tonight. 2 goals in Game 1 here at the Cap Center, and a hat trick in Game 2. Capitals coach Terry Murray is standing by downstairs with Al Koken, so let's go down to Al and Terry.
All right, Kenny, thank you very much. Terry Murray, after the disappointments on Long Island, what do you tell your team tonight?
Well, it's very important that we come out with a real good attitude, Al, and we come out with a lot of confidence. I think we've been lacking that in the last few minutes of the 2 overtime losses that we had up there, and we got to show right away from the first 10 minutes that we're confident, that we're enthusiastic, and come out and play a real hard game.
What changes are you going to make in the lineup this evening?
Well, 2 changes in personnel. Beaupré is going in goal, and Connor Walchuk is going in place of Randy Burridge up front. The other thing I think that we have to do is just to go out and be much better in our own zone down low, and we've got to be better. We've got to score 5-on-5 out down deep in the offensive zone. We're creating chances, but we've got to finish.
Now that you have the line matchups back to your favor, do you keep the Ridley line out there against Turgeon?
Not necessarily. I don't want to disrupt the flow. We get a good flow going right from the first shift, and I'm going to just get the lines rolling and see how things unfold. So it's not necessarily a situation where I want to get Ridley out there. It's most important that I get either a Hatcher, a Johansson, or an Ifredi or Cote out there and do a good job in the defensive zone.
All right, Terry, thank you very much. That is Capitals coach Terry Murray. We go back upstairs and rejoin Kenny Albert and Craig Laughlin.
Thanks, Al. Craig, the Islanders obviously with the momentum, 3 consecutive overtime victories. What are their keys tonight?
Well, I think you look at those victories, they've got to keep this game close here at the Capitol Center. They seem to really get their character going, their players going when it's a 1-goal hockey game. The first period, they've got to shoot the puck. Don Beaupré has not played for 10 days. The last game, the last season of the year, game of the year against the New York Rangers. And they've got to play loose. The Capitals have all the pressure on their shoulders. Loosen up, Islanders, and just play their game.
What about the Capitals' keys?
Well, the Capitals, they've got to believe. If they're not going to believe, they might as well not play the game. A lot of teams have come back from this type of deficit. I look for a lot of character players to come through for the Capitals. Play every shift like it's the last shift of the year. If they do that, everybody performs up to expectations. They can come away with a win. And someone has to emerge as a hero. I mean, you talked to FERRARO, you talked about Dale Hunter the first 2 games here. Someone has to step forward and be the guy that Terry Murray can count on.
Well, a guy who has certainly emerged as a hero for the New York Islanders during this series between the pipes, number 35, Glenn Healy.
Yeah, goaltending. I mean, that's what playoffs is all about, goaltending, special teams. And Glenn Healy has put together a terrific series. Look at his numbers. He's 3-1. What more can you ask for? Everybody thought he was down and out. They thought Fitzpatrick would be their guy. Glenn Healy comes in and has performed tremendously, and he's a big asset for this Islander team.
And a change in the Capitals' nets. Don Beaupré making his first start of the playoffs.
And he's eagerly awaiting this, Kenny. I know he was upset that he didn't get the start being the number 1 goalie for the Capitals for the majority of the season. Right now, he just can't wait to get in the net. I'm looking for Don Beaupré, especially early, to feel the puck. That's going to be important. But after that, he should fit right in.
So Healy and Beaupré in the nets. Right now, time to check out as we head to the checklist and check out the New York Islanders and Washington Capitals.
And Kenny, what we're going to check out is the grade for both these teams on the road. First of all, offense. The Capitals with a C+ in this category. Only 7 of 13 goals even stretch. For the Islanders, a B+. When we look at the defense, however, you've got to go when it comes to defense. A C+ for the Capitals. That's what happens when you look at the defense, offense, speed, special teams, and the intangibles. The one category that I think you really have to look for, that even though we didn't get a chance to look at it, was the intangibles. They've been really solid, the Islanders, scoring some timely goals and really coming through number 20 FERRARO.
All right, Craig, both teams on the ice. We get set for Game 5 of the Patrick Division semifinals. And before the opening face-off, let's head downstairs. Here's Al Koken.
All right, Kenny, thank you very much. A couple things I'm going to be looking for early in this first period. You're going to see Dale Hunter and Alan May out there early to try and get some tempo established. They've got to get in there, make contact with the Islander defensemen, create turnovers, crowd Glenn Healy, get some rebounds, and generally try and set the tone for this game. It'll certainly help the Capitals team, and it'll also help get this crowd. Now, this is not going to be a sellout once again, and quite frankly, even though there's pretty good noise level right now, I do believe there's a lot of people in this crowd saying to the Capitals, prove it to me. Prove it that you can win. Prove it that you can force a 6th game. They have to be sold, and that's why the first 10 minutes of the game will be important. set some tempo, get some chances, preferably get a couple goals past Healy, and start getting this crowd behind them all the way. Because if they struggle early, if the Islanders jump ahead, this crowd could go out real quickly, and it could be a very ugly scene. It's up to the Capitals not only to do it on the ice, but to get it done in the stands as well. We'll have our national anthem this evening, and it's going to be sung by Jack Briggs.
And remove your hats as our national anthem is sung for us by Jack Briggs.
Oh, see by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Jack Briggs with our national anthem. The referee tonight is Dan Marowelli. The linesmen Swede Knox and Brad Lazarowicz. As we take a look at our Flexall injury report for this Game 5. Capitals with no injuries. Islanders Gary Nyland, Marty McInnes, Scott LaChance. The healthy scratches: Caps Randy Burridge, Reggie Savage, Jason Woolley, and Paul McDermott. Islanders sitting out David Volek, Greg Parks, and Jeff Norton. Caps will start out with Dale Hunter between Dmitry Kristich and Alan May, Kevin Hatcher, and Kalle Johansson. On the back line, Islanders with Ray Ferraro between Derek King and Patrick Flatley, Darius Kasparaitis, and Uwe Krupp on defense. We're underway, Game 5 of the Patrick Division semifinals. Only 11 teams in NHL history have come back from a 3-1 deficit. One of those, the Capitals, back in 1988 against the Flyers. Don Beaupre defending the goal to our left. Glenn Healy to the right. Beaupre has not played since a week ago Friday, the regular season finale against the Rangers. Kasparaitis behind the Islander net. Took a hard hit from May. It's kept in by the Capitals. But now the Islanders come to center. Craig, a big hit on the first shift by Alan May.
Well, that's a sign of things to come, I think, Ken. I think the Capitals have to play aggressive against this team. They have not been putting a lot of pressure on these young defensemen. By putting pressure on, you're going to take the body and you're going to get a turnover. Right there, the Capitals, even though the shot didn't get through to Healy, a quality chance because of that turnover.
Alan May also putting the body to Steve Thomas as the shot by Carpenter sails wide. Thomas on the far side, kept in. Here's Bondra backhander, and Healy kicks that one out. Thomas flukes the puck all the way down. So the Capitals with 3 big hits and 1 scoring opportunity on the first shift, and they hear it from the crowd with 1:11 gone by. Coach Al Arbour and the Islanders.
Here's Peter Bondra, a guy they're looking for to score some goals. Nice save early by Glenn Healy, and watch as Thomas comes around. He's going to get cracked, and that's the important of forechecking. You're going to get turnovers. Michael Pavanka doing a nice job there, and there's Malakoff trying to help out, but then Thomas goes around the net. The Capitals are doing the simple things to start this game, taking the body. You don't have to run the guy through the ring. just take the man and pin him against the board.
Greg, something to keep an eye on here tonight. The Capitals have been outscored by the Islanders at even strength, 13-7. Caps with 6 power play goals, Islanders with just 1. Steve Konowalchuk making his NHL playoff debut between Keith Jones and Alan May. Randy Burridge is sitting out Game 5.
And the reason they've been outscored even strength, I think, is their D have not been out.
Sylvain Cote fires it between the pads of Glenn Healy, and the Capitals take the early lead.
Here's a softie, the first of the series. Nice work by Konowalchuk in the lineup. He wins the draw. And Healy, that's his first soft goal he has let in all series long. Here's the Jeep Eagle Eye. Look at that puck just squirt through the pads. That's the type of break the Capitals are looking for. Give a lot of credit to this youngster in his first game in the playoffs in his NHL career. Konowalchuk winning the draw. Cote hammering it home.
That could be some sort of NHL record. Steve Konowalchuk picking up a point 4 seconds into his first shift in the playoffs. Sylvain Cote is first from Steve Konowalchuk at 1:15. So the Capitals score first for the second straight game. Islanders with the early lead in the first 3. Here comes Todd Krieger into the Islanders zone. Miller with the drive. That was blocked. Krieger sends behind the net to Mike Ridley. Ridley moves in front, intended for Cote, but it was intercepted by FERRARO. Benoit Hogue shoots into the Capitals' end, and that winds up in the stand behind the Capitals' goal. So before the Islanders even get a shot on goal, the Caps are on the scoreboard.
The defense, I was just talking as Cote scored that goal, becoming more active in the play as we look at Cote heading off to the bench for a little bit of breather, but that's going to be a huge factor if the Capitals are going to win this game. The defense offensively carried this Capitals team throughout the season. They really haven't been jumping up in the play, being noticed in the postseason. Right there, a good sign of things to come for the Capitals with their defensemen.
Capitals defensemen now with 3 goals in the series. As you mentioned, Ally Frady a pair in Game 4. Bob Carpenter with a big check on Uwe Krupp right off the face-off in front of the Capitals bench. Calle Johansson throws up the middle. This one rolls into the Islanders zone. Kasparaitis chasing. And this is icing on the Capitals, so they'll bring the face-off back into the Washington end.
Going to look at Al Arbour pacing behind the bench. As he says, this series could easily be the other way, 3-1 for the Capitals. He's glad that the bounces obviously have went his way in overtime. He seems to have the team going once overtime starts. He feels very confident. He called that timeout in Long Island. It was 3-0 Capitals, and he just said to his guys, look, guys, it's 0-0. Let's just chip away, and certainly they did, winning that game in double overtime.
Capitals send on Konowalchuk along with Dale Hunter and Alan May. As Coach Terry Murray mixes and matches lines early on, Alan May's already seen 3 shifts here in the first period. Off the draw, comes to Johansson, pushes it up the right wing boards to Alan May. He lost it. Mullen shoots in. Back to get it, Calle Johansson. 2.5 gone by. First period from the Capitol Center. Capitals lead the Islanders 1-0. Dale Hunter on the left wing, Alan May moving in on Dalgarno. May leaves it for Hunter. Now Konowalchuk on the right wing boards. Dale Hunter. Puck was underneath Malakoff. Islanders trying to clear. It's kept in by Dale Hunter. Now finally Mullen of the Islanders skates to center. Shooting in from the red line. Comes to Konowalchuk on the left wing. Konowalchuk took a bump. Jones over to help out. Konowalchuk looks down into the aisle zone. Once again, it's icing on the Caps as Rich Pilon makes the touch. 3:05 into the first period. Caps leader on the strength of a Sylvain Cote goal.
I'll get it, Olga. It's the Americans. Ah, they brought Miller Lite.
Americans are here, and they brought Miller Lite.
If you're on a mission for great taste that's less filling, Miller Lite. It's everything you want a beer to be.
Olga, we don't have salsa.
Someone say salsa. two simple things I want from a car. I want a car to run good. I want a car to look good. I like words like reliable, dependable, trustworthy, and I want it to look good. Did I say that already? I want a car I can trust. Does that seem like such a terrible thing? So I bought this new Impreza. It's got everything I just said, and it's a Subaru. I've taken care of things all my life, and I don't want to have to take care of a car. I locked my keys in the car.
Kenny Albert, Craig Laughlin, Al Koken from the Capitol Center. Face off to the left of Beaupre. Comes to Pilon. His drive goes just wide. The Islanders still without an official shot on goal on Don Beaupre. Caps up 2. Here comes Cote. Provante to the Islander zone. Provante is stripped. King goes cross ice to Rich Pilon. Steve Thomas for the Islanders with 3.5 gone by. The drop pass to Turgeon. His shot, a stick save by Beaupre. Don Beaupre tested for the first time, and he stops the Islander sniper, Pierre Turgeon.
Well, we'd really like to see that early in the game, especially his first shot. He's able to control the rebound, and that's important for goaltenders. Here's a reverse angle. A nice fake shot by Thomas, dropping it to number 77, his centerman, Pierre Turgeon, and he drills one, and that's a tough save for Beaupre. And look at the traffic. King coming in, trying to throw him off his game. Turgeon let that go through the legs of Al Iafredi, so that was not a routine stop, but Beaupre doing a nice job corralling his rebound.
Don Beaupre said this morning, yes, I do feel pressure going in at a Game 5 with the Caps down 3-1. Croup shot, that was blocked in front. It's loose. Derek King not able to tee it up, and the Capitals come to center. Pivonka with Dale Hunter and Bobby Carpenter. Healy sends to the near corner. Kasparaitis plays it up the boards to Derek King. King for the Islanders. King tries to split the defense. He does, and he was taken down. A penalty upcoming. Derek King cutting between Hatcher and Cavallini, and it will be Paul Cavallini heading to the penalty box.
There's Dan Maruelli nailing Paul Cavallini. The Capitals in tremendous shape as the Islanders hit the blue line. It's simple. This is bread and butter of any NHL team. It's 3-on-3. But watch how King uses a changeup and breaks through the two defensemen. Now Kevin Hatcher cannot take him. He's just got to take the wide guy, but then he has to help out. Cavallini tackles King. That's why he's off in the penalty box.
Cavallini, 2 minutes for holding, 3:51 the time. Derek King has yet to score a goal this series after finishing the regular season with 38. Islanders just 1 power play goal, 1 for 19.
Had Paul Cavallini, he's playing a little careful, and that's what happens under these type of situations. Some defensemen and forwards are going to play a little careful. When you play careful, you're not going to make the plays you make all season long. That was just simple. Just take the man. Hatcher could have had his. They had a back checker, but now this power play, who struggled all season long in the series, goes to work.
And we see Kerbers and Malakoff playing the points. Kerbers in trigger in Game 4. Malakoff has scored the Islanders' only power play goal of the series. That was on Saturday. Benoit Hogue setting things up, finds Flatley. Flatley in the near corner. Flatley with Hogue and Ferraro. Ridley almost able to strip it away. Now he does, can't clear. Malakoff looking for Ferraro in front. Ferraro to Flatley. Flatley across ice the shot, and Ferraro does it again. His 5th of the series. Ray Ferraro with a goal in each game.
It's amazing. The puck seems to gravitate to this guy, Ferraro. Everything that he touches, he must have a magnet on his stick, and he's always wide open. The Capitals forcing up top on Malakoff, but it's that little battle along the wall that allows the Islanders to keep it going. And here's Ferraro trying to make the play. He makes a nice pass right there to Patrick Flatley, and Flatley just chips it in. He wasn't even aiming there. He was trying to backhand it to the far corner. It rolls off the end of his stick, not expecting to go where it does. And there it is, right onto the stick of Ferraro, as Benoit Hogue is taken out in front by Al Iafredi.
Ray Ferraro in the series, 5 goals on 11 shots.
Assist number 26, Patrick Flatley. Assist number 23, Vladimir Malakoff.
Ray Ferraro does not wait for overtime this time, doing it in the first period. Flatley and Malakoff on the assist at 4:37. We're tied at 1 on the power play goal by Ray Ferraro. Dmitry Kristich lost it, comes in front, and Kasparaitis is there for the Islanders, leading a 3-on-2, along with Mullen and Delgado. Oak checked away by Pat Elena. Puck comes to the near side. Kasparaitis with the centering pass off the skates of Hatcher. Cap's not able to come out of the zone. Dale Hunter retreats in front of Don Beaupre. 5:20 gone by. Here in the first period, it's the Islanders 1 and the Capitals 1. Dennis Vasky pushing it up the left wing to Derek King. He fires in on goal. Ally Frady behind the Capitals net. Kevin Hatcher up the boards. Kelly Miller. Ridley across the line. Ridley moving in, and Healy makes the stop. It's cleared out of trouble. And the Capitals now regroup at center. Sylvain Cote tapped ahead. Miller chasing on the right wing along with Vasky. Ridley there tries to work it free, but it's broken up by Turgeon. Here come the Islanders once again. Steve Thomas shooting in. Cote behind the Caps net. Up to Malikov on the right point. Derek King shot. And that was stopped. Turgeon gets to the rebound. Turgeon, instead of shooting, was looking for Thomas. Here's Malikov putting it through the crease. Vasky on the left point. Oh, that's deflected into Beaupre by King. Capitals not able to clear the zone. Finally, Ally Frady picks it up. Kept in by Thomas. Derek King in the slide. Broken up by a sliding Cote.
There's that line going to work, causing a lot of problems for the Capitals. King, Turgeon out there along with Thomas, and Malikov, certainly one of the guys that's really helping out on the blue line, keeping that puck alive. He pinches aggressively along the board.
Ferraro with the centering feed, broken up by Pavanka. Dmitry Kristich, now Calle Johansson with it up the left wing side to Carpenter. Michael Pavanka for the Caps. He fires one. That goes high and wide. Kerber's not able to clear. Kerber's behind the net. Up the boards to Benoit Hogue. 7:15 gone by. Here in the first period. Patrick Flatley with the shot. Ferraro hit by Hatcher. Hogue taken to the boards by Carpenter. Johansson plays it ahead. Hogue in the neutral zone. Throws back to Tom Kerber. Up the middle, tapped by Flatley. Islanders out shooting the Capitals 5-3. The Islanders have taken the last 5 shots. Goals by Cote at 1:15. Ferraro, 4:37. Troop. Loisel on the left wing. He fires one that's stopped by the stick of Beaupre. Alan May backhands to center. Picked up by Kasparaitis. Darius Kasparaitis once again. Carried ahead by Alan May. Healy goes behind. Keith Jones in the near corner. May the centering feed off the stick of Sean Anderson. And Healy able to hang on. 11:44 to go. Here in the first period, Cote and Ferraro the goal scorers.
Way back before the Pathfinders, before the Explorers, even before the Cherokees, there was Blazer. Now the first sport utility vehicle of its kind offers you all this and the performance of a 200 horsepower V6. You can spend thousands more on something else, but there's only one way to get the experience of a Chevy Blazer, the vehicle that originated the species.
You don't need a weight loss center to lose weight. You don't need someone to sit down at the table with you and lecture to you. Save your money. People are discovering a diet they can do for themselves. You can lose the weight with Just Help Yourself. You just stop off at your market, throw it into your cart, and have it without going to a meeting. And it worked for me, because I can wear clothes now that I could not wear before. So losing the weight has done a wonderful thing for me. I feel like I'm more a part of life. Discover Just Help Yourself, the diet you can do for yourself, exclusively at Giant.
Under penalty, number 11.
Minor skirmish here, ends up with 2 players in the box. For the Capitals, we get a look at Keith Jones and Darius Kasparaitis in the box for the Islanders. Each 5 minutes for fighting, so both teams will still play 5-on-5.
And the time of the penalties, 8:16. Keith Jones, Darius Kasparaitis will sit it out. It will not affect the player's strength on ice. 5-on-5 situation. Islanders still need to send on one more. Steve Konowalchuk for the Capitals at center. Alan May on the left wing and Peter Bondra on the right side. Steve Konowalchuk and Alan May have played a good portion of this first period so far. Alan May has come through with a number of crunching checks. Steve Konowalchuk won the faceoff that led to the Sylvain Cote goal. Konowalchuk wins another one, but Cavallini not able to get over it. Capitals had a tough time face-off-wise, games 3 and 4. But here tonight, Konowalchuk with a couple of big wins.
Doing a nice job at centers. The faceoffs are so important. You control the puck off the faceoff. That's why you really have to concentrate.
The drive by Travis Green was kicked out by Beaupre. Konowalchuk plays it up the boards to Peter Bondra. Backhand feed to May. That's deflected. Goes to the far corner. Anderson and Vasky come together. Konowalchuk was looking for Bondra. Travis Green up with it. Kept it at the right point by Cavallini. Now moved out by Mullen. Cavallini again for the Capitals. Around Dalgarno taken down. Malikov chasing with 11 minutes to go in this first period. Capitals and Islanders tied at 1. Sylvain Cote. Iafrate plays it up the boards. Kept the line by Thomas. Thomas intended for Mullen. Ridley on the intercept. Iafrate from the blue line. That goes just wide. Cote racing for the rebound. Here's Ridley in the near corner. Bondra there as well. Penalty upcoming on the Islanders. Well, maybe it's on the Caps. Beaupre started to go for the bench, but then a whistle from Maruelli as soon as Iafrate touched the puck. Let's see who the call is on. Too many men on the ice on the Capitals.
I think that happened right at the bench as Al Iafrate wasn't sure to come off or not. And the Capitals get caught, and Kelly Miller getting the explanation by the referee. The Capitals have to go to the penalty killing situation, which has been great all series long. That first goal, however, on the power play. And there we get a look at the 6 Capitals on the ice. There's Krieger, Kelly Miller, Mike Ridley, Cote, Iafrate, and Peter Bondra at the far left. 6 guys on, 5 for the Islanders. That's why the linesman helped out the referee. He made that call.
So the Capitals whistled for a bench minor. It will be served by Peter Bondra. Time of the penalty, 9:30. Remember, the Islanders scored on the power play just moments ago. The steal by Ridley. Did not realize that he would have had a break with the Islander defenseman up joining the rush. Kelly Miller. Derek King for the Islanders. The lead for Turgeon too far. Chased by Johansson. He takes a hit from Steve Thomas. Derek King along the left wing boards. Curvers sliding across the blue line. Malikov's one-timer deflected wide. Turgeon the feed. And Beaupre with the stop. Thomas thought it was in. Comes to the left point. Curvers. Here's the drive by Malikov. Turgeon leaves behind the net. Johansson the first one there. And he fires out to center. Played there by Ridley. We had a whistle along the near boards.
With an offside call by the linesman. Curvers could not keep that hard around in. He pushed it forward, and he touched it, and the linesman immediately called the offside call. Some good pressure by this Islander power play. Turgeon, who likes to set up behind the net, causes a lot of problems. Here's how we're going to pick up this offside call. Here's a reverse angle, bounces over his stick, then it hits the linesman and comes back in, and that's why the linesman blew the whistle right there, not allowing the Capitals to go forward with it. And here's Steve Thomas with a great chance, and there he is behind the net where he loves to set up his Turgeon. Look at Thomas, arms up in the air. Tremendous stop by Dom Beaupre, kicking out that right pad.
Don Beaupre has faced 8 New York Islander shots so far. Islanders with the last 8 shots. Caps of the first 3 here in the first period. And the Islanders with 8 since then. 9.5 to go. 1 minute remaining on the bench minor. Capitals with too many men on the ice. We're tied at 1. Sylvain Cote, Ray Ferraro, the goal scorers, as Curvers fires in. Took a tricky hop behind the net. Thomas couldn't tee it up. Krieger tries to spin away from Derek King. And the Caps able to clear once again. Healy plays it behind the net. Curver's back to get it. Tom Curver's playing the second game of this series. Jeff Norton was in there the first three, replaced by the power play specialist Curver. Cote bangs it ahead. Comes to Curver. His drive goes wide of the mark. Group on the right point. 20 seconds remaining on the power play. Flatley bumped by Cote. Flatley sends it behind to Ray Ferraro. Now the return over the stick of Flatley and cleared by Krieger. That will just about do it for the Islanders power play. Group pass gathered in by Kristich of the Caps, and out of the box steps Peter Bondra. So the Capitals have killed off the second Islanders power play. Isles with just one shot during the man advantage. Puck deflects out of play with 8:19 to go here in the first period. Caps controlled play early on, but since then it's been the Islanders, and we're tied at 1. We want to remind the NASCAR racing fans out there that it's the start of another racing season and the return of This Week in NASCAR with Eli Gold. Join HTS this Thursday night, live at 11, as Eli Gold reviews and previews the 1993 NASCAR racing circuit. That's This Week in NASCAR, Thursday night at 11, only on HTS.
Terry Murray looking on a little bit concerned here, but his team's come out firing. They've made some good body checks, some good aggressive work on the penalty killing unit, especially at the half board. The Islanders are not a half board type power play team. They like the puck down low, and if you keep it on the half board, you're going to have good success killing it off.
Once again, we see Steve Konowalchuk centering Bobby Carpenter and Alan May. Konowalchuk takes the draw with Travis Green, who broke a long scoring drought of 30 games with the goal in Game 4 that brought the Islanders within 3-2. Puck shot in by Konowalchuk. Healy behind the net, stops for Pilon, who fires it around. Mullen on it for the Islanders. He's hit by Konowalchuk, but here comes Green shooting in. Puck comes around the board, tapped ahead, and played by Carpenter. Rich Pilon. Pilon's pass comes to Cavallini in the cap zone. Hatcher up the boards. Konowalchuk chasing along with Bobby Carpenter. Here's Carpenter with the drive, and a stick save is made by Healy. It's been a terrific series for Bob Carpenter after a disappointing regular season.
Bobby Carpenter certainly turned it on at the right time of year. April is the time of year that veteran players seem to come around and play better, and Bobby Carpenter, one of them for the Capitals. Right now, the Islanders, everybody's got to remember that this Islander club is a young hockey team, and this is so important for the Capitals, obviously, to win this. But if they win this hockey game, the pressure's all on the Islanders and some of these youngsters. It's going to be interesting to see when the series would resume in Long Island how confident they actually are.
Bobby Carpenter seems to be playing with more confidence than he did during the regular season.
That comes with the odd goal here or there, more ice time, a good pass. That builds the player's confidence a lot, and it has for Carpenter in the postseason.
Islanders send the puck out to center. Rolls into the Capital zone. Ally of Brady backboard, watched by the forecheck Delgado. He took a hit. Hunter over to help out. Kristich on the left wing goes cross ice to Cote. Dale Hunter off the skates of Cote. On the right wing, Pat Ellenuk backhanding ahead. Malikov for the Islanders with 7:10 to play in this first period. The last 3 games have gone into overtime as the puck deflects out of play into the Islanders bench. Brad Delgarno, one of the 2 Islander forwards without a point in this series. Nick Bakota is the other.
Delgarno's just a role player, as Nick Bakota, as Brad Delgarno's just a banger. He's in that lineup to do that part of the game, to work along the boards. He's not going to score a lot of goals in any series or during the season. He's the type of guy that you need on that 3rd and 4th line, so when the going gets tough, Delgarno and Nick Bakota, they get to play more often.
And you see 2/3 of the Islanders' kid line. Travis Green on the left, Brad Delgarno on the right side. Former #1 draft pick is Delgarno. Back in 1985. Turgeon and Pavanka. Draw one by the Islanders. Kerber slips in. Johansson looking for Bondra on the right wing. Straight through to the Islanders zone. Peter Bondra, Healy to stop. Penalty upcoming. Dan Narroelli signaling a hold as Bondra had a half step on Kerbers. And Tom Kerbers will head to the penalty box.
Well, Peter Bondra still looking for his first goal of the series. Here's a reverse angle. The importance of going to the net. Here Bondra puts down his shoulder, puts down his arm, forces Kerbers to tackle him. Kerbers and Healy lucky that puck didn't end up in the net behind him. It ends up in the corner. But out of this play, the Capitals go to an important power play. But look at how he leans in there. That's the play. That's what you want to see from your goal scorers, leaning in. That's the only reason that penalty occurred was because Bondra went to the net. He hasn't been doing that. When you don't go to the net, you're going to end up in the corner. You're not even going to get this play called.
Well, the Capitals' power play has been a huge bright spot during the first 4 games of this series. 6 goals and 18 opportunities. Dale Hunter, remember, had the big games here earlier in the series, games 1 and 2 with a combined 5 goals. He is out there for this power play along with Pavanka and Twisted. Here's Hunter in the near corner. Out to Johansson on the right point. Hunter top of the circle. In deep, Michael Pavanka. Hunter along the boards. Here's Kevin Hatcher. Islanders really pressuring the points here, Craig, and it costs the Capitals.
Well, they know that that's where this power play originates from. It's Kelly Johansson, Kevin Hatcher playing catch, sending it down the half board, then trying to go deep. That's why the 2 guys are right on top of the D. The Capitals on the half board shouldn't come back to the point. Get it down deep as quick as possible.
Hatcher keeps it on the left point. Healy not able to clear. Hatcher moving in, rich shot, stopped in front. The rebound sent behind the net to Twisted. 1:10 remaining. One of the Islanders holds playing without a stick. Comes to Johansson on the right point. Pavanka top of the circle. In deep, Hunter. Caps working it around. Dale Hunter comes in front. Healy to stop. Twisted shoots. Oh, and Healy with a sprawling save, and it's cleared by Fitzgerald. Now the Capitals make a player change. 45 seconds to go on this man advantage. Ally O'Flaherty behind the net. Starts to center. 5.5 to go in this first period. We're tied at 1 as Ridley carries in. Ridley and Malakoff. Hellenic over to help out. Out to the left point, Iafrate. Behind the net, Ridley. Ridley holds, finds Hellenic. Left point, Iafrate. His driving scores!
There's the puck on the half board, back to the point. This one needs an airline stewardess on it, Kenny. What a rocket. Boom, into the net. Ally Afraidy, who's been on a roll, snaps one home. The importance of shooting the puck and driving it hard. Here's Ally Afraidy with the cannon, beating Glenn Healy. The Capitals 2-1. A power play goal for number 34.
For Al Iafrate, his 3rd goal of the last 2 games. Here's Turgeon back across the Capitals line. Stick checked away by Krieger. Hellenic and Ridley. The assists on Al Iafrate's power play goal at 14:48. Capitals lead 2-1, and they continue to dominate on the power play. 7 of 19 here in this series. Uwe Krupp for the Islanders. Back in his own end, watched by Miller. Kasparaitis on the left wing. Lifts it ahead. Turgeon the first one there, but an offside is called on the Islanders. How about this, Craig? As we take a look at Glenn Healy. The Baltimore Skipjacks, as you know, the Capitals farm team, in a 4 out of 7 first-round AHL playoff series against the Binghamton Rangers, the team that set all kinds of records this year, the most points, most wins ever in the AHL. Well, they split the first 4 games. They're at the Baltimore Arena tonight. Series tied at 2. And the Skipjacks lead Binghamton 2-0. In the second period, looking to take a 3-2 lead. Now, here we have the only 5 series in NHL history that have endured 3 or more consecutive overtime games. 1951, Toronto and Montreal had 5 in a row, but only the 5th time in NHL history that we've seen 3 or more consecutive games go to overtime. And the interesting thing about that, this is the only one in which the same team won all of those games. The previous 4, both teams were on the winning end in the extra period. Getting back to the Skipjacks, goals by Mike Bobak and Jeff Greenlaw. Wayne Dirksen in net once again. They lead Binghamton 2-0 midway through the second period. Al Iafrate, who scored the Capitals' second goal. So both goals today by the defenseman. That's how the Caps were successful during the regular season. Now here's the drive. Beaupre the stop on Flatley. Sent to the far side, played by Christen. Dimitri Christen held up by Flatley. His pass broken up by Johansson. Now 4 minutes to play. Opening period. Dale Hunter comes to center. Thought about firing in. Then softly slides it behind the Islander net. Set up the boards to Benoit Ho. Now Hunter on it for the Caps with 5 goals in the playoffs. Islanders out shooting the Capitals 9-8. Ray Ferraro. This is Steve Thomas, bottled up by Dimitri Christen. Peter Bondra, cross ice, Al Iafrate. Cavallini finds Bondra, taps it along to Carpenter. Bobby Carpenter. Iafrate shoots, he scores!
What a blast once again. Bobby Carpenter setting up Al Iafrate, and he just drives it, and that cleanly beats Healy, who wasn't out on his angle. He was sitting back in his crease, waiting to take this high, hard one. Here's the reverse angle. Carpenter to Al Iafrate, and watch this shot. He just snaps it down low off the pipe and in. Al Iafrate, the goal scorer. He's now got 2 in this hockey game. The Capitals up 3-1.
Greg, the Capitals very lucky there. Look to be very close to offside. Here comes Turgeon, shooting it wide. Turgeon tied up by Pavanka. Carpenter and Bondra picking up the assist. Did a couple of beautiful plays this series. A couple of goals set up by Carpenter. You think back to game 3. The assist on the Elmanuk goal, and now finding Al Iafrate streaks down the left wing.
Yeah, that was a very interesting goal. Not only it could have been offside, but secondly, Ray Ferraro was in the Capitals bench when it was scored. Dale Hunter took him right into the bench. Ferraro said, hey, if I've got to get off the ice, I'm going to get too many men. He jumped onto the Capitals bench, and he stood there as this goal was scored. And here's the close offside call on the reverse angle. There's big Al Iafrate. Now Bobby Carpenter, very close to being offside. You can carry the puck in. If you're skating backwards, you have control. You can carry it in your body first. Bobby Carpenter very close. There's Pierre Turgeon, the nice double pad save by Don Beaupre. But I really think the funniest thing about that whole play was seeing Ray Ferraro in the Capitals bench.
Greg, earlier this season, we spoke about Al Iafrate being in his zone. Well, he is in his zone tonight. 3-1 Capitals. Here's Alan May shooting. And the rebound sent high and wide by Connor Walchuk. Capitals 3 goals on 10 shots. For the first time this series, Glenn Healy a bit shaky here in this first period. He's played a tremendous 4+ games. Healy a brick wall in front of the Islander net in the 3 overtime. Keith Jones, his first shift since returning from serving as fighting major.
Really notice the difference in this hockey game. The grinders, it's a grinding series. That's why guys like Alan May, Keith Jones, Connor Walchuk are logging a lot of ice time for Coach Terry Murray. And because of that, the Capitals getting a couple of power plays through hard work. And now the Capitals lead the Islanders 3-1. Great period by guys you don't expect to play a whole lot. Terry Murray giving them the chance to play, and they're certainly playing well.
Now one of the linesmen wound up in the Islander bench on a big check in front. It was Brad Lazarowicz. Here's Christian sending ahead. Pilon for the Islanders under 2 minutes to go in this first period. It's the Capitals 3 and the Islanders 1. The Capitals already matching their total goal production of each of the last 2 games here in the first period. Claude Barzell shoots in, knocked down by Cavallini. And it looks like an Islander penalty coming up. Barzell took a swipe at Dimitri Christian. It'll be called a hold. Claude Loisel heads to the Islander penalty box, and the Caps will go to their second power play.
Great chance to add to this 3-1 lead. Claude Loisel, actually the hero in a couple of overtime games. He's the guy that really made some nice passes to Ferraro. He's off in the box. He's also one of the guys that really Al Arbour relies on to kill the penalty killer. And now the Capitals a good chance to go ahead once again. Here's a reverse angle of the penalty. Right in the middle of the screen, right at the top there. There's Claude Loisel, the hack and the whack, and then the holding of the stick, holding of the body, and here's the linesman. We talked about guys being in the players' bench. Well, there's the linesman. Little help from the Islanders. Brad Lazarowicz in the bench.
He didn't really take the brunt of the check, just pushed in a little bit. Caps 7 for 19 of the series on the power play, as that one goes just wide. Loisel for holding 18-28. The interception by Mullen. Bondra putting in front. Cote chasing down. Kasparaitis able to clear with a minute to go in this first period. Al Iafrate with 2 goals here in the first. Iafrate taps it behind the net. Fitzgerald there for the Islanders. Not able to clear. Kept it by Cote. On the left wing for Delano. Mike Ridley setting things up behind the net. 37 seconds to go. Cote on the right point. Here's Iafrate's drive. Oh, and Healy got a stick on it. Up to Bondra in the near corner. Now the Islanders able to clear. For under a half minute remaining in this first period. It's the Capitals 3 and the New York Islanders 1. Sylvain Cote around Benoit Hogue. Christich on the right wing. Floating it in front. Healy stops that one. Now comes to the near corner. Pilon tries to fire ahead. Now the Islanders clear, and that will do it for this opening period. A pair of goals by Al Iafrate. Sylvain Cote opened the scoring. Ray Ferraro tied it. But then the wild thing, Al Iafrate giving the Capitals a 2-1 and then a 3-1 edge. Caps outshot the Islanders 11-10 in that first period, and the Capitals power play will carry over into the second. It's the Capitals 3, the Islanders 1. We'll be back from the Capitol Center with intermission festivities in just a moment.
Capitals played that first period like a desperate hockey team. Needing a victory to stay alive, they came at the New York Islanders early, got a lead, and added to it as the defense has come through offensively. A goal by Sylvain Cote, 2 by Al Iafrate, and the Capitals hold a 3-1 lead through the opening 20 minutes of action here at the Capitol Center. Welcome back to Capitals playoff hockey here on HTS. Al Koken with you, and we're very happy to have as our intermission guest, a colleague at WUSA Channel 9 and also occasionally WTEM Radio, the longtime voice of the Washington Redskins, and now
rub it in.
Come on, the longtime voice. You remember back in the when you used to have to crystallize your radio and get Frank Herzog doing the games with Sonny and Sam. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to be here.
We've seen this scenario too many times in the past, haven't we, with this Washington Capital team?
Iafrate got his second, and I went,
Uh-oh, 3-1. It's the jinx number. Please, get another goal or something. Break out.
I mean, can you ever really get a full beat on this team? They play good games. You think they would have things wrapped up, but they just, year after year, don't seem to have a real confidence in their team, while this Islander team, even though it's new faces, it seems like when you put that Islander uniform on, they play the way they always the great teams played in the past.
Perhaps, Al, it's intensity level. Perhaps. I think they came out real tentative in the first period. As I told you before we came on the air, I had the privilege of being down in that far corner, the Caps goal, taking some pictures in the first period. I didn't take any the first 8 minutes. I mean, they were never down there. And then you could just see their confidence build a little bit, the intensity picked up, and then that's where they made their move towards the end of the period.
Is this town right now saying to the Capitals, prove it to us?
Oh, I think so. And I don't think there's anybody out there who could blame the town for doing that. I mean, this is a heartbreak team. It has been for years. And I think it made one run there 1 year where they got real close. You know, and people said, okay, now you got something to build on next year. And the next year they didn't build on it. So I think, yeah. And I think that Abe Poland said something very instructive about this whole thing, too, earlier in the paper. Hey, I'm the guy. You know, I'm the guy who's responsible for this. And I think, in a way, the owner is.
Well, you were also the radio voice of the Bullets during their championship series. So
boy, was that a long time ago.
Back in the 70s.
Holy cow.
But they finally did get something done, yet still they have struggled. And it seems like, is there really a Redskin domination, or is that just mythical? I mean, obviously the Redskins are a popular team, but people say, hey, you know, nobody can get any ink, nobody can get any airtime because of the Redskins. Do you buy that?
Yeah, I think it's true. I think it's a Redskins-dominated town, and I don't think sometimes it has an awful lot to do with sports either, Al. I think it has a lot to do with the culture of the city. I think the Redskins are a cultural event. I think they're a show. They're like a show at the National Theater or the Kennedy Center. And I think that there's an atmosphere down there that's been built up from tradition since the late 30s, and I think that that's a tough road to hoe to go against for the Caps, for the Bullets, for Georgetown, for Maryland, for anybody else who's putting a basketball or a hockey team on the floor and trying to sell tickets to watch people play it.
Let's get a couple phone calls for Frank Herzog. We go to D.C. John, you've got the first call.
Hey, good evening, Frank. Good evening, Al.
Hello.
Got a question for you. One thing I think a lot of fans want to be have proof on is, what are we doing as far as investing in the future? I'm concerned about what we've heard about the minor league situation for next year. Do you have any information as to what we're going to do next year about having a minor league team? And if we don't have a full team dedicated, what does that say about the Caps' future as far as players coming up or investment in the minor league?
Well, right now the Capitals will have an involvement with the new Portland team, the Baltimore franchise being basically transferred with owner Tom Ebright to Portland. The Capitals, though, will have 2 goaltenders and probably maybe 10 skaters mixed up between forwards and defensemen. So you're right, they will not have a full team. David Poyle thinks, though, that there is not really need for a full team. As he looks at his Baltimore team now, he certainly doesn't see 20 guys as key pro prospects. One thing, as Kenny Albert mentioned tonight, the Skipjacks tied 2-2 with arguably the best team in the American Hockey League in their series. They've got a 2-0 lead tonight in Game 5. I can also tell you the Capitals are not alone. Some of the other NHL personnel that I've talked to about Pat Peake, who had an outstanding junior season, also Martin Gendron, who had a very big season, and maybe the plum of this future is Jim Carey, the goaltender who was outstanding for the United States in the World Junior Tournament and also was excellent as a freshman at Wisconsin. They feel they've got some people there, but I think it is a major question, and when you consider how the Redskins just went through a draft, and as you were saying earlier, yeah, they got the names they wanted, but let's see them play. And this is the toughest job in sports, to figure out how a guy at 17 is going to be projected at age 25.
And it's an interesting debate, too, Al, because take the Penguins. Here's a team that looks like it's going to be a dynasty. Look, it could go for another 5 years with the great players they've got. They got a kid down in the minors. Now, I just forgot his name. They got a kid in the minors that they'd love to get up with the parent team. But there's no room for him now, so they're going to let him season. Yeah. What a nice luxury to have, to be able to groom him in the minor leagues. So as you talk to the Penguins, and they're going to say, hey, that minor league team is really critical. Yeah, it is a question, though, of what you said earlier when we talked about the Redskins and their draft. You look at their first 2 draft picks and you say quality players are going to come in and play. The rest of them, you're going to sit back and say, what I'm going to do is sit back and say, I'll memorize your name and I'll memorize your number when you make the team. Until then, you're going to have to prove it. I'll never forget Joe Gibbs' first year with the Redskins. He said, and I quote, I've still got it on tape, Farley Bell may be a key to our success this season. Anybody ever heard of Farley Bell? Did he ever dress? No. He never wore Redskins. You know who Farley Barrel was? He was a linebacker from somewhere, looked like a Greek god, couldn't play a lick.
I remember Archie Bell in the drills, but not Farley Bell.
Not Farley Bell.
Frank, good seeing you. Thanks for being with us.
You bet.
Frank Herzog from WUSA, and you can hear him with the Redskins on WTEM Radio. We've got more ahead as our intermission activities continue right here on HTS.
Safe and courteous drivers could be found all over this country. Today, these drivers are a vanishing breed. But we know you're out there, and we built a car insurance company just for you. Geico. We have only one policy, safety. If you were to pick anyone from our design center or truck line in California,
That's a matter of pride.
or the Camry line in Kentucky,
Dedication.
take the first person you see at our Michigan or Indiana facilities
It's a matter of commitment.
and show them the latest quote praising a Toyota product, they'd simply say,
That's great.
Making it better. That's what it's all about.
people think Toyota's reputation was built on the strength of its products, when in fact it was built on the strength, pride, and commitment of a lot of people.
It means putting your name on the line.
Beginning Sunday, April 18th, you don't want to miss an event so big, so exciting, and so spectacular that it takes 2 networks to cover it. The Stanley Cup playoffs come to ABC and ESPN. The speed, the skill, the thrills of the Stanley Cup on 5 consecutive Sundays on ABC. Then on Monday through Saturday, catch all the action on ESPN. The game's biggest stars shine bright on Sunday, April 18th, starting at 1 Eastern, 12 Central, and Pacific on ABC Sports.
O's keys to victory against the Twins.
Sears got to beat up on the Twins pitching.
Hit high in the air to deep right field. Back goes Munoz to the wall. O's Twins. Wednesday night at 7:30 on HTS. It's the toughest game on 2 feet as the Madmen from down under make their mark, battling head-to-head, staking their claim as kings of the continent. Australian rules football. Fridays at 4 on HTS.
Capitals game coverage on HTS is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer, where you'll find great values like the Kentucky-built Toyota Camry. For quality, value, and the best deal going, see your Toyota dealer today. And by Geico, we have only one policy, safety. Ally Brady with a pair of goals, Sylvain Cote with the other. The Capitals lead the New York Islanders by the score of 3-1 after 1 period. Kenny Albert along with Craig Laughlin. Craig, 3-1. That score has not been to the Capitals' liking the last couple of games. 3-1 leads in the 3rd period. Islanders came back to tie it, but here tonight a 3-1 edge in the 1st period.
Well, hopefully they learn from their mistakes that they made in Long Island with those 3-1 leads. They can't get back on their heels. They got to continue to go forward. That's why they had success. And I saw one thing there, that the Capitals didn't seem to get under pressure. The pressure wasn't getting to them. The Islanders, on the other hand, you could see Glenn Healy, maybe the fatigue factor setting in. I thought all 3 goals the Capitals scored were softies when you look at Glenn Healy, the way he's played.
Well, we'll take a look at the 1st period shot charts, beginning with the Capitals, who threw 11 at Glenn Healy.
When we look at the Capitals shot chart, what we see here is Iafredi, number 34 down here. Iafredi up here with a goal, and Sylvain Cote a goal over here. The Islanders did a good job keeping them out of here, but these shots all coming from sharp angles and at long shots beating Glenn Healy. And we're going to pick up the goals here as we pick up Iafredi's first goal. And it starts in the corner with number 19, Pat Ellenup. He's going to get it to the point, and that's where Al Iafredi is going to unload one. And if we hold it right here, here's the box. Perfect box by the Islanders. They're closing it off. But look at where these forwards are. They got to be out here on the D, or they're going to be able to crank it. And here's what Al Iafredi does. He said, well, if you're giving me this much room, I'm going to let one fly. And here's a soft goal. The goalie should have this shot. It squirts through the pads. Al Iafredi hammering home the power play goal.
Ellenup and Ridley picked up the assists at 14:48.
Iafredi's going to continue. Here's Bobby Carpenter and Al Iafredi. This is not offside here. You're allowed to carry the puck behind. As we hit the blue line, just onside, Al Iafredi skate on the blue line. And look at this shot. Far side along the ice into the corner, beating Glenn Healy. Glenn Healy not out on his angle, sitting back in the crease. That's why Iafredi had that shot.
And for Al Iafredi, his fourth of the series at 16:41 from Carpenter and Bondra. Here's the Islanders shot chart. They had 10.
And the 10 shots, 5 of them from the Turgeon line. The Capitals have to contain these guys in the next 2 periods. We're going to take a look at their goal, however, and who else is it going to be? It's going to be Ferraro, and he starts it right here. He's going to backhand a pass into the middle. The Capitals in good shape here. Here's Ferraro, the backhand pass, but Flatley is wide open. And hold it right here. Look at how Ferraro comes back in, but you've got to watch out what happens here. Number 26, Flatley is trying to score, but they get a lucky bounce. Number 20 right there is Benoit Hogue being taken out. He has a wide open net, and Ferraro puts her in.
Well, Craig, a goaltending change for the Islanders here in the second period. Mark Fitzpatrick has replaced Glenn Healy, and let's go downstairs now before we get started in the second period. Here's Al Koken.
All right, Kenny, thanks. We're going to update you on what's going on in the game between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the New Jersey Devils. Penguins coming back home after playing yesterday and allowing New Jersey to get their first victory. But the Penguins right now in control of this one by the score of 2-0. We've got highlights, and we begin with that awesome Penguin power play and Mario Lemieux. Watch the passing. Ron Francis begins it. And watch how Mario Lemieux coming in off that left wing side will take a shot. It goes right between the legs of Kenny Danico, the defenseman, then right past Chris Terreri on the far side. And the Pittsburgh Penguins, with the extra man, go ahead by the score of 1-0. Then great Penguin forechecking. Watch the work of number 22, Rick Tocchet. Goes after Bruce Driver, forces the turnover before Driver wanted to get it. Now Bobby Holik doesn't clear the zone. It's gloved down by Kevin Stevens. His shot stopped by Terreri, but look at Tocchet outfight Driver with Terreri down and relatively out of position. He puts it home, and in the second period, it's the Pittsburgh Penguins now holding a 2-0 advantage. Let's return you back upstairs now to Kenny and Craig.
Thanks, Al. Mark Fitzpatrick making his first appearance since 10 days ago, that final Friday of the regular season when Fitzpatrick and the Islanders defeated the Devils 8-4. That game moved them into third place in the Patrick division. Mark Fitzpatrick started 3 of the last 4 games for the Islanders, but it's been Glenn Healy so far in this series. Capitals with 15 seconds remaining on the power play with Claude Loisel in the box. So Mark Fitzpatrick defending the goal, 2 hour left. Don Beaupre to the right. Kasperitis chasing the loose puck, sends it up left wing to Mullen. As Loisel makes his return, so the Islanders have killed off the power play that spanned 2 periods.
Al Arbour must have been listening to me and the way I talked about Healy being shaky. That's why he went to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, not a very experienced goaltender when it comes to playoff times. Al Arbour giving him a shot.
Here's Kovaca with the steal, leading Kristich, but it was poked away by Malikov. Fitzpatrick has only appeared in 4 playoff games during his career. 0-2 with the goals against average of 5.13. Here's Cote's shot. That did not make it through. Tapped out by Turgeon. Iafredi wristing it right back in. Mark Fitzpatrick, originally a Los Angeles King. Here's Turgeon. His wrist shot is gloved by Beaupre, and he covers up with 1:14 gone by in this second period.
There's Turgeon once again in the middle of all the offensive thrusts that the Islanders are throwing at the Washington Capitals, along with Derek King, and Derek King hasn't scored a goal yet. He's struggling a little bit with the Islanders. He's got that sore wrist and sore finger, and that's why he hasn't been shooting the puck a whole lot during the season. He was one of their snipers. Don Beaupre closing the glove on that one.
And the face-off to the right of Don Beaupre. Islanders now out shooting the Capitals 12-11. Ridley leads in with Ferraro. Islanders with a Kerber's shot. That was blocked in front by Ridley. Here comes Krieger. Todd Krieger across the Islander line, puts on the brakes. Chased by Flatley behind the net. Around the boards, Ray Ferraro. Iafredi keeps it and shoots, and Fitzpatrick makes the stick stop. Miller chasing in the far corner, along with Kerbers. Two Islanders, two Capitals try to pry it free. Ridley does. Finds Iafrate. Oh, what a move. Tried to spin around flatly. Iafrate keeps it alive. Here's Carpenter, backhander. It stopped the rebound, and Fitzpatrick with the save. Good stop by Mark Fitzpatrick. Capitals with a few good scoring opportunities. Todd Krieger not happy with the referee, Dan Marawelli.
Well, they're turning the puck over. They're working the wall, and here's nice move by Al Iafrate. He throws it at the net. Good things happen. Kelly Miller turns around and backhands her, and there's Mike Ridley being grabbed and thrown to the ice by Ferraro. Rich Phelan coming in, getting that little face loss on Todd Krieger, and that's why Todd Krieger and Marawelli are having a little talk right now, but some good pressure by the Capitals. They're skating tonight here in Game 5. Because of that, they're getting scoring opportunities. They're, however, denied by Mark Fitzpatrick in net, replacing Glenn Healy.
Mark Fitzpatrick faced the Capitals, Craig, 3 times this season, all at the Nassau Coliseum, and he was the losing goaltender in all 3 games. So he has not had much success against the Capitals as of late. Cavallini held up a bit, clears the center. Kasparaitis there with 2 minutes gone by in the second period. It's the Capitals 3 and the Islanders 1. 2 goals scored by Al Iafrate. Sylvain Cote with the other. On the left wing boards, Keith Jones for the Caps. Jones goes cross ice too far, intended for Anderson. And the puck deflects out of play. Tom Fitzgerald of the Islanders. Another former #1 draft pick. So has finally developed into a solid National Hockey League player. Coach Al Arbour uses Fitzgerald in many key face-off situations, penalty killing as well. He heads to the bench as Travis Green comes on along with Brad Dalgarno and Claude Loisel up against the Capitals, Steve Konowalchuk, Keith Jones, and Alan May.
Coach Al Arbour and Dan Marawelli having a little discussion at the Islander bench, and that's concerning the line changes. Al Arbour sticking 6 guys out there. It's an old trick used by a lot of coaches, and then at the last minute he's going to pull one off. He wants to know what the Capitals are doing. As soon as the referee puts up his arm, you're no longer allowed to make a line change. You must play with the guys on the ice. Marawelli just giving a little warning there to Coach Al Arbour.
Capitals made a quick change, sending on Hunter with Elenuck and Christick. Dennis Baskey up the middle, Travis Green. Green firing in. A stick stop was made by Beaupre. Anderson plays it up the boards to Elenuck. Dale Hunter at center. Hunter on the left wing to streaking Anderson. Anderson tried to center it. It's broken up. And Green clears it out with 3 minutes gone by. Period number 2 from the Capitol Center. Game 5 of the Patrick Division semifinals. The Washington Capitals trail the series 3-1. Lead the game 3-1. Elenuck hit by Malakoff. Dennis Baskey plays it for the Islanders. Brad Dalgarno on the right wing, Turgeon. Turgeon with a wrist shot. That was well wide. Derek King plays it far side. Beaupre keeps that one out. Solid performance so far, Craig, by Don Beaupre, making his first start of the playoffs.
He's made some nice saves. He's just stealing the puck right now. The rebounds aren't going that far. You like to see that in a goaltender, making the routine stops, but also controlling the angles.
Capitals call for icing. They lead it 3-1.
Let's stop. Where? There's nothing around for miles. What about this place? Come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. Go to the line, I like it like that.
Once you've discovered a great taste in a less filling beer, what more could you possibly need?
Hey, buddy, what's your secret?
I don't know. Location? Miller Lite. It's everything you want a beer to be.
When you were a child, you were told we're all created equal. But now that you're a little older, you see things a bit differently. The new Lexus GS Luxury Performance Sedan. It's roomier, quieter, and rides smoother than cars costing thousands more. Maybe we are all created equal, but it doesn't have to stay that way.
See your Lexus dealer for treatment that's unequaled.
Kenny Albert along with Craig Laughlin and Al Koken from the Capitol Center, where the Caps lead the Islanders by the score of 3-1. Islanders control the draw. Kasperitis finding Thomas, but it was stick-checked away by Johansson. Now the Capitals come to center. Parker to Ridley. Off the skates of Pavanka. Moving through deep in his own end. Islanders out shooting the Capitals here 14-13. Hatcher behind the net. Keeps it away from Turgeon. Pavanka up the left wing to Johansson. Carpenter at center. Vondra on the right wing. Vondra, nice drop pass to Hatcher. Hatcher centering it, and the net was knocked off its moorings. Carpenter came together with Krupp. Steve Thomas and Michael Pavanka have some words along the left wing boards. But it looks like the faceoff will remain in the Islander zone.
There's Kevin Hatcher jumping up in the play, and there's the collision right in front. Bobby Carpenter throwing big 6'5" Uwe Krupp into the pipe. The net comes off its moorings. The face-off to the right of Fitzpatrick as Krupp goes for a breather. Krupp's going to see a lot of ice time. He plays about as much as Kevin Hatcher. Kevin Hatcher in the last game played close to 40 minutes in that double overtime loss in Long Island. That's the same type of numbers number 4 puts up for the Islanders.
Face off to the right of 24-year-old Mark Fitzpatrick. Mike Ridley going up against Travis Green. Islanders control the draw. Pilon sends behind the net. No one there. Krieger on it for the Capitals. Todd Krieger backhands in deep. Ridley and Pilon behind the net. Pilon taken down. Flatley tries to spin away from Miller. Oh, they hopped over the stick of Krieger. Johansson, but he was outside the zone. Offsides is the call. And the draw will come outside the Islanders' blue line.
The Capitals are taking a hit to make a play right there. Mike Ridley taking the hit, a hard one by Rich Pilon, number 47 for the Islanders. Behind that guy right there, Mark Fitzpatrick. Calle Johansson tried to control it at the point. He pulled it out. It was an offside call. And now that we have a break, let's check in with Al Koken. Al?
All right, Craig, I'm down here in the corner where the Capitals are using the offensive zone, and one of the things I've been noticing is the line changing. What we saw in the first 2 home games, Terry Murray was using the Ridley line out there against Turgeon. Now he's using it against Ferraro, and he's also using Pavanka out there against Turgeon. I don't think these are necessarily defensive matchups. I think he's trying to go for the offensive advantage in these line changes tonight.
Thanks out, Craig. When the Penguins trailed the Capitals 3-1 in the first-round series last year, Scotty Bowman made some significant changes in the defensive style of the Penguins to stop the Capitals. Here with the Caps down 3-1, we see Terry Murray with some changes as well for the Capitals, but as Al said, the offensive type changes.
Absolutely. You see the defenseman more active. He's throwing the lines over the boards and saying, guys, let's play. There's nothing to lose here. We've got to try to play as best we can. If we do that, we can come out with a win here at the Cap Center. That's all he's doing. Throw them out there. Let's go play.
Well, sometimes it takes those adjustments in the systems and the coaching style to affect the series in a major way and turn it around, and that's what Terry Murray's trying to do here today. Fitzgerald drop pass. Malakov's shot was blocked. Here come the Capitals 3-on-2. Elena looking for Kristich, but the pass was too hard. Fitzpatrick behind the net. 6 minutes gone by. Here in the second. It's the Capitals 3 and the Islanders 1. Here's Fitzgerald moving in and it drives that one over the net. And Elena for the Capitals. Calle Johansson moves it ahead to Dmitry Kristich. Kristich tries to keep it away from Krupp. Elena streaking behind the net. Loisel on it for the Islanders, and he sends out. Hatcher. Oh, it took a tricky hop. Luckily for the Islanders, Kasperitis beat Kristich to the puck. Deep Konowalchuk out to center. Uwe Krupp. Kristich goes cross-ice to Sean Anderson. It's the Capitals 3, the Islanders 1. A pair of goals for Al Ias. Lady Silvac Cote with the other. Ray Ferraro scored for the Islanders. Broken up by Jones. Keith Jones chasing along with Kasperitis. Jones the first one there. Jones behind the net. Good work by Jones, the wraparound. Fitzpatrick able to stop it, but what a job by Keith Jones. First beating Kasparaitis to the puck, and then getting off the shot. Alan May and Claude Larzell, you see, tangled left side of the screen. And we'll take a break with 13:04 to go here in the second period. It's the Capitals by 2.
Honey, I got a new tractor.
Obsolescence.
Honey, I got a new tractor.
It's the fact of life that says nothing lives forever.
Honey, I got a new tractor.
At Cub Cadet, we put a lot of time into our products.
Honey, I got a new tractor.
So you'll get a lot of time out of them.
Honey.
You can accept obsolescence.
Honey.
Or you can fight it.
You got a
Cub Cadet. Working overtime.
You're looking sharp. You come so far. And we know how to make most of who you are.
Only Gillette Sensor has spring-mounted twin blades that adjust to your face. A shave this close, this safe was never this easy. Sensor. And now there's Gillette Shaving Gel with advanced lubricants for an incredibly smooth shave.
Keith Jones for the Capitals showing a lot of energy and trying to redeem himself. He was on the ice for the 3 overtime goals and showing Terry Murray that, yes, I'm going to play and I'm going to play hard. There he does a nice wraparound attempt on Fitzpatrick.
Brady's shot. That was wide of Fitzpatrick. Thomas for the Islanders clears to center behind the play. Ridley a bit shaken up. He checked Turgeon behind the Islanders' net. And Mike Ridley heads slowly to the bench. Cote with the errant pass, but King could not find Turgeon. Thomas behind the net to King. He's wrapped to the boards by Cote. Turgeon again held up by Iafrate. Kavankis sends around. Here's Pilon on the right point. Now Iafrate on the intercept. Flips it ahead to Krieger. Sylvain Cote. Todd Krieger. Fitzpatrick stopped it behind the net for Kerber. Islanders having trouble coming out of their own end. Kerbers over to Pilon. Kavankis with a hard hit on Kerbers behind the play as Pilon shoots in. Loved by Beaupre. Now Turgeon on the steal, looking to feed King in front. Here come the Capitals. Bondra pokes it ahead, chased by Johansson. Johansson looking in front. Derek King with for the Islanders. 11:45 remaining. Here in the second, it's the Capitals 3. The Islanders won all the scoring in the first period as the Islanders called for icing.
The Capitals fortunate there that Derek King could not make that pass up the wall. They had Turgeon and Thomas flying the zone. It would have been a 2-on-1, but that pass just out of reach of Turgeon. Therefore, the icing call.
As we see Winger entertaining some of the fans here in attendance tonight at the Capitol Center. Mark Fitzpatrick, who went through some tough times 2 years ago, had a rare blood disorder, but everything has been kept in check the last year, and he came back with a good season for the Islanders. 17 wins, 15 losses, 5 ties. He and Healy really rotated throughout the season as the Islanders' #1 goaltender, and Healy hot at the end and here in the playoffs. But Glenn Healy allowing 3 goals on 11 shots in the first period. Taking a seat on the bench the first time in the series, as is Rick Tabaracci. Steve Konowalchuk will step in with Travis Green. Konowalchuk got the Caps started just a minute 15 in, winning a faceoff to Cote, who fired it past Healy. Then Ferraro tied it less than 4 minutes later, but 2 goals by Al Iafrate late in the first period, and the Capitals lead it 3-1. Kasparaitis over to Uwe Krupp. Krupp flips to center. Cavallini on it for the Caps. Knocked out of the air by Krupp. Just off the bench is Brian Mullen. He blasts one wide. Brian Mullen, of course, scored the double overtime goal the last game here on Tuesday night. Green, nice move around Cavallini, then lost the puck. Able to feed Delgado, who's taken down. The puck loose in the slot, and we have a Capitals penalty upcoming. It's a holding call.
As this whole series has been going, a lot of clutching and grabbing, especially around the goaltenders. And right there, Paul Cavallini getting his second minor penalty for the Capitals. He's in the box, a holding call, a massive jam up in front of the net. Here's the Jeep Eagle Eye. Look at the collision in front. There's Mullen and Cavallini working over each other. In comes Fitzgerald. There's Connor Walchuk and him. And look at Cavallini with the takedown with two other Capitals standing by for support. Cavallini in the box. The Islanders go to the power play.
2 minutes for holding. 9:08 the time. Islanders 1 for 2 with the man advantage tonight. Just 2 for 21 in the series. Mike Ridley back on, showing no effects of the hit from Turgeon moments ago. He'll take the draw with Ray Ferraro. Early in the series, the Caps keyed on the top line of Turgeon, Derek King, and Steve Thomas, but it's been flatly Ferraro and Hogue doing the damage. They begin the power play as Beaupre stops the shot by Malikov. The rebound steered wide by Flatley. So Al Arbor going with Ferraro, Flatley, and Hogue. Ferraro a goal in all 5 games in this series. Hogue out to the point. Here's Malikov's drive over the net. Play to the far corner by Kerber. 20 seconds gone by on the Cavallini holding penalty. Islanders keep in. Now it's slapped ahead by Johansson, and all the way down. Malikov takes behind the Islanders' net. 40 seconds gone by on the power play. We're midway through the second period as Miller ties the puck up with Curvers, and they'll face it off.
Curvers put into the lineup for one reason and one reason only, his offense, and he's provided it throughout the season for Coach Al Arbor. In and out of the lineup, he's the type of the guy that can play one game and then 10 days off and play another game. He's been around a while. He's a veteran in postseason play, playing on 2 or 3 other teams in the postseason. He's out there just for that one reason. And out of those teams he played with in the playoffs, he also has that coveted Stanley Cup ring on his finger.
Yes, Kerber's a member of the 1986 Montreal Canadiens. He's the only member of the Islanders with the Stanley Cup ring. Among players, of course, Al Arbor with 7. 4 as a coach, 3 as a player. Derek King keeps it alive, out to the point, takes the return. Cross ice, here's Kerber's. Looking for Turgeon. Turgeon not able to tee it up, but he's stripped by Kovarka. Kept in by Thomas. Kovarka there for the Capitals. Turgeon. Now Thomas carries in deep. Derek King back behind the net. Thomas. 45 seconds remaining on the power play. Turgeon plays catch with King. Puck down right to the left of Don Beaupre. Finally, Cote on it for the Caps. And he clears the length of the ice with just 30 seconds remaining on the Islanders' power play. Isles with just 1 shot so far during this man advantage. Here comes Malikov shooting in, but Thomas was in the zone offsides on the Islanders.
Steve Thomas, a little spark plug in this lineup out there. Not very big in stature. He plays that big man's game. He out there always banging and crashing the boards. The first game in here, he said he didn't have his legs. It's a good sign for the Capitals if he doesn't have them once again tonight, but he's been making a couple of good bangs, but he hasn't really had the puck. He's known for that hard, high shot that he has, and that's why he scores a ton of goals during the regular season.
Thomas was not happy with Calle Johansson, who pushed him into the Capital zone and then held him there, forcing the offsides. Face-off at center, controlled by the Capitals, as Hatcher sends in. Just 15 seconds to go on the Paul Cavallini penalty. 9 minutes left, second period. All the scoring in the first. It's the Capitals 3, the New York Islanders 1. Kasparaitis moves in. Group in the near corner. Group then to the far side. Cavallini out of the box. Capitals have killed off another Islanders power play. Steve Thomas in the far corner. Here's Turgeon. Turgeon around Miller. Turgeon walks in front, not able to get the shot off, and here come the Capitals. Ridley with Miller. Ridley across the Islander line. Holds up. Now he shoots. Fitzpatrick with the pad save. Steve Thomas on the left wing avoided the Cavallini hit. Slowed him down a little bit, however. Johansson. Hatcher in the far corner. Hatcher lays it up the boards to Elena. Now Ridley with 8:15 to go, second period. Johansson on the left wing. It was blocked by Phelan, kept in by the Capitals. Bristich behind the net. Bristich looking in front. Mike Ridley in the far corner. Held up by Baskey. Ridley still with it. Bristich there as well. He's pushed to the boards by Phelan. Elena tries to work it loose. Pat Elena for the Capitals. Here comes Bristich moving in front. He shoots it blocked. Bristich with another attempt, sticked aside by Fitzpatrick. Elena chasing with King. Capitals have kept the puck in the zone about a minute. Here's Ridley. Mike Ridley in the far corner. Anderson, the return to Ridley. Anderson behind the net. Elena. Elena avoids the Phelan check. Bristich behind. In front, Dale Hunter, but not able to get a stick down. Now Dale Hunter is there, and they score! Deflected in front, and it's 4-1 Capitals.
What a shift for this line out here. Elenick had taken his glove off earlier to look at his sore thumb. He puts it back on, stays in the play, and out of this outwork, Baskey in front. It deflects off Elenick, beating Fitzpatrick. The Capitals with a huge goal through working hard in the Islanders zone. There's the pass off the leg, being taken out in front, paying the price is Elenick. And out of this, he gets himself a Patrick Division semifinal goal, propelling the Capitals to the 4-1 lead.
Pat Elenick has certainly paid the price the entire series. He's had an excellent playoff series for the Washington Capitals, and that shift working in the corner. And he scores his second of the playoffs. Islanders complained after the first two games about Capitals in the crease. Elenick was pushed in there, so the Islanders not with much of an argument. But the Capitals do, Greg, what they could not do in each of the last two games. That's made 3-1, 4-1.
That's a huge goal for them, and one extra goal certainly helps. It's going to help in the confidence department especially.
Well, they say that the puck did not touch Pat Elenick, so Dale Hunter gets credit for his sixth. Elenick will get an assist along with Bristich, but the puck obviously deflected in off the Islander defenseman. So Dale Hunter with his sixth playoff goal. All six have come here at the Capitol Center. But the big thing is that the Capitals have taken a 4-1 lead over the Islanders. 6:40 to play in this second period as the Capitals clear the zone. Group on it for the Islanders. Goes cross-ice, Kasparaitis. Uwe Krupp looks up ice, flips it ahead. Under the glove of Cote. Cote wraps up Mullen. Delgado in the near corner. Delgado took a hit. Cote behind the Capitals net. Off the skates of May. The puck rolls all the way down. This will be icing on the Capitals. 6:07 to go here in period number 2. It's a 3-goal lead for the Caps. They're out shooting the Islanders 19-15. And while we have a second, let's check in. A couple of other games going on tonight. Here's Al Koken. Al?
All right, Kenny, thank you very much. Last time we talked to you with some scores, it was 2-0 Pittsburgh. But as we go to the Washington Post scoreboard, we show you that the New Jersey Devils have come back and tied this game up. It was a goal by Richer to make it 2-1. And then Bruce Driver, shorthanded, has tied it up 2-2 at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh in the second. Montreal on a goal by Mike Keane. They still hold a 1-0 lead over the Quebec Nordiques. Binghamton has come back and tied the Skipjacks. That game now tied at 3 at the Baltimore Civic Center. And the Orioles in Chicago tonight. Fernando Valenzuela is scheduled to make the start. Frank Thomas has touched him up with a 3-run homer as the White Sox lead it by the score of 3-0. Let's go back upstairs now to Kenny and Craig.
Thanks, Al. There you see Dale Hunter. We hope to see it on the replay because originally it looked like Pat Elenick, but Dale Hunter gets credit. How about the other night? I thought Elenick at least by the look of the replays, got a stick on Iafredi's first goal. What did you think?
I thought he did too, but he said afterwards it might have grazed the end of my stick. He wasn't sure. But they're just worried now about winning. Goals and assists, they'll come if you win. You win as a team, you lose as a team. Elenuk's not going to argue whoever scored that goal. They've given it to Hunter, but a lot of the work being done by Elenuk.
That's what the Islanders said as Flatley's shot catches the crowd after game 2 when FERRARO, many people thought, tapped in the goal that was credited to Mullen. The Islanders said, what's the difference? It's a victory for the team. We don't care who gets credit. Getting back to some of those other series, how about the Boston Bruins and the Chicago Blackhawks? 2 first-place clubs getting swept. The Sutter brothers, Brian Sutter, the coach of the Bruins, Darryl in Chicago. How about this for a Sutter hat trick? I would not want to be in Viking, Alberta this week, the home of the Sutters. A third Sutter brother that's coaching, Wayne Sutter of the Indianapolis Ice, the Blackhawks Farm Club. They were eliminated as well yesterday by Atlanta. 4-1, so the 3 Sutter brothers combined for just 1 playoff win. 12 losses, all eliminated on the same day.
Unbelievable.
And Brent Sutter, of course, a player with the Blackhawks. The only 2 Sutters still alive, the twins, Ron and Rich. Although one of them is injured playing with St. Louis. And the LA Kings, Craig, tied with the Calgary Flames 2-2 despite 0 goals in the series from Wayne Gretzky, Tomas Sandstrom, Tony Granato, and Luc Robitaille. How do you explain that?
Well, come playoff time, as it always happens most of the time, that somebody comes through for you unexpectedly. You know those guys are being watched closer and closer come playoff time.
Oh, the deflection by Flatley was stopped by Beaupre. Malakov's right point drive off a skate in front, and Budrick comes to center. Takes a hard hit from Malikov. Flatley carries right back in, hit by Johansson. Capitals try to clear. Finally, Johansson sends the puck the length of the ice. In a race for it, Carpenter along with Baskey. It's played by the goaltender, Fitzpatrick. Bondra there for the Capitals. And he flips one up. That catches the glass and ends up in the 5th row with 5:05 remaining. And we see the Devils have taken a 3-2 lead over the Pittsburgh Penguins in the second period. Crowd reacting to the highlights up on the video screen. The Penguins score the first 2 goals, but the Devils have come back. They lead Pittsburgh 3-2.
And here's the Dale Hunter goal with Pat Elenuk doing a lot of work in front. And here's Hunter just throwing it at the net. We're going to see Baskey involved there. We're also going to see number 19. And to me, that looks awful close. Those legs were tangled. Certainly did look to me. It looked like it hit maybe Elenuk there, but Dale Hunter gets credit for the goal.
How many of Dale Hunter's 6 goals in this series have come on clean shots? You think back to the first 2 games. 1 went in off Healy's skate, 1 off Malakov's skate. The goal that tied it with 2.6 seconds remaining in the 3rd period, that was a 4-foot stuffer by Hunter, but many of those goals are not meant to be shots on goal. That was a pass in front, and it went in. That proves the old adage correct. You can't score unless you shoot the puck. If you put the puck towards the goal, anything can happen. Cote and Green come together, some hard hitting on this shift. Iafredi eludes Barzal, then goes back at Claude Barzal. Konowalchuk up the left wing boards. Jones took a crunching hit from Pilon. Here come the Capitals. Cote, he fires one wide. The first man in is Jones. Jones throws behind the net. Pilon winds it around. In the skates of Hunter. Broken up by Green. 4:05 to play. Here in the second, it's the Capitals 4 and the Islanders 1. Caps out 2 to the Isles, 19-16. Puck at center, picked up by Dale Hunter. Leading Elenuk. Elenuk moving in, not able to get a good shot off. Kristic taken down, and the penalty upcoming. It's on the Islanders. Interference will be the call, and the Capitals will go to the power play once again. The Islanders look to be a very frustrated bunch.
Here's the penalty call. There's Pat Elenuk, who's been in every little situation. He's paid the price. There he is right there. But look at Kristic being dumped by number 77, Turgeon. Curvers also all over Elenuk. Both guys should actually go, but I think Dan Maruelli is only going to call one of them. Any way you look at it, the Capitals are going to go to an important power play.
Craig, we just want to remind you that you are guaranteed approval for a Signet Visa or MasterCard, even if you've been turned down due to past credit problems or a lack of credit history. Simply open a savings account with 5% interest, and you'll receive a credit card with a credit line equal to your savings balance. For an application, call 1-800-945-3144. Well, Craig, the penalty on the goalkeeper, Mark Fitzpatrick. 2 minutes for interference at 16:10. Steve Thomas will serve the 2 minutes. Capitals 1 for 2 on the power play here today. 7 power play goals in the series. Capitals with Dale Hunter between Dmitry Kristich and Michael Povanka. Galli Johansson, Kevin Hatcher manning the points. Hatcher on the left point. Hunter puts it in the air. Lorzell there for the Islanders. Looking to lead Fitzgerald. Beaupre winds it around. Fitzgerald, the first one on it for the Islanders. And he kills off some time during the Fitzpatrick penalty. As Krupp fires down. Hogue able to strip it from Hatcher. Benoit Hogue now hit to the boards by Hatcher. Kristich plays the puck with 3:15 to go in this second period. It's the Capitals 4 and the Islanders 1. Kristich's pass off the skates of Krupp, covered by Hatcher shooting in. Hatcher's stick was held a bit by Kasparaitis. Hunter out to the right point. Johansson slides across, shoots, and it goes wide. Now comes to Hatcher, top of the left circle. Kevin Hatcher wristing it in front, broken up by Krupp. There for the Capitals, Kristich. Now Hatcher flips it looking for Dale Hunter. Hunter tied up by Kasparaitis, centers it anyhow in the skates of Flatley. Krupp plays it ahead, kept in by Hatcher. Hogue sends the other way with 37 seconds remaining on the Mark Fitzpatrick penalty. 2:20 to go. Here in the second, the Capitals 4, the Islanders 1. Iafrate with a fair. Cote and Hunter, the other Caps goals. FERRARO for the Islanders. Johansson's pass rolls all the way down. Icing will be called on the Capitals.
The young defenseman for the Islanders, Dasky, out in the penalty killing situation. The Capitals trying to generate their offense through the neutral zone, and an errant pass ends up in an icing call, but some pretty good pressure down low. Working the points, however, they've really got to stay away from the points because the forwards in this penalty killing unit are playing real high. They've got to get it down low. That's where they're going to get their chances with Dale Hunter and Kristich working that pass across the crease. That's the type of play that works against the penalty killing unit like the Islanders have.
Face off to the right of Don Beaupre. 19 seconds to go on the Caps power play. Bobby Carpenter will take the draw with Brian Mullen. Al Iafrate with 2 goals tonight. He had 2 in Game 4. Iafrate moving it ahead from outside the blue line. Alakov kept it by the Caps. Iafrate behind the net. Bondra. Iafrate once again. Penalty is now over. Thomas out of the box. Bobby Carpenter's shot exploded in. Bondra was taken down in front. Delgado hit by Carpenter. And here come the Islanders. A minute 45 to play here in the second. Thomas tries to put a move on Cavallini. Held up by Cavallini. And the puck play off the boards by Jones. Bondra. Carpenter looking in front and went through the skates of Bondra. Now Cote on the right point. His shot goes wide. Jones tries to wrap around. It's loose in the slot. Chased down by Cavallini. That was blocked. Here comes Mullen. Brian Mullen down the right wing across the Capitals line. Beaupre with the stop and then shovels it into the corner. Turgeon behind the net. Turgeon tries the wraparound. Gloved by Beaupre. Don Beaupre comes up big for the Capitals. Stopping first Brian Mullen and then Pierre Turgeon.
Late in any period, the important saves are very important. And here's Brian Mullen with the hard snapshot going high on Beaupre. but watch that sneaky Pete. Pierre Turgeon tries the wraparound as Cote is taken out in front. There's the wraparound right there by Turgeon, trying to squeak one in, but Beaupre right over there closing that play off. The Capitals doing a nice job playing man for man in front of the goaltender, Beaupre.
Don Beaupre, career playoff record, 27 up, 28 down, 12 and 12 for the Capitals. Had a terrific goals against average in the playoffs with the Caps, 2.87. He was in there all 7 games a year ago when the Capitals were defeated by the Pittsburgh Penguins. And it looks like some problems with the strap on Beaupre's goaltender's mask. Bobby Carpenter playing with the mask a bit. I don't think he wants to get between the pipes. And I don't think he wants to play without a mask.
I don't think so. He's getting a little bit of a breather. Everybody thought he was going to be penciled in as the starter in this series. He was a little bit upset with that decision that they decided to go with Tabaracci, Terry Murray, and the rest of the coaching staff. As Beaupre, coming into this series in this year's playoffs, had played 18 consecutive games in the Capitals' net in the playoff time, so he thought he was a shoo-in. But Tabaracci, who played well down the stretch, got the nod. But right now, in the biggest game of the year, obviously, Beaupre in the net.
And the referee, Dan Marawelli, with a delivery to Don Beaupre. Don Beaupre has stopped 17 of the 18 Islanders shots. Pierre Turgeon will take the face-off along with Mike Ridley, so we see a bit of line matching with the face-off in the defensive zone. Last minute of the period, Kerber's drive, and that goes wide. Chased down by Thomas. And the puck comes to center. 3-on-2 for the Capitals, led by Ridley. Kelly Miller moving in. Oh, and it goes high over the net. Fitzpatrick may have gotten a piece of it. The 30-foot blast by Kelly Miller with 47 seconds to go in period number 2. Kelly Miller, Craig, one of the 4 Capitals, along with Ridley, Hatcher, and Hunter, that were on that team back in 1988 that came back from a 3-1 deficit and defeated the Philadelphia Flyers.
He's obviously a leader on the ice and off the ice. He's been through it. He knows how important it is to play each shift by shift. And right there, Kelly Miller on a nice setup, 3-on-2. That's what the Capitals have been doing. It's been all Capitals except the first couple of minutes of this hockey game. The Capitals have won the little wars on the walls because of that. They lead 4-1 here with 47 seconds left in the second.
Ridley and Green now to the left of Fitzpatrick. Kasparaitis knocks the puck out of the air. Green over as well. Miller working it with his skates. Kept in by Krieger. Down to 35 seconds in the second period. Johansson sends to the left of the Islander goal. Kasparaitis up the boards. Hatcher at center. And that hits the 15th row of the seats.
Everybody thrown around their weight. It starts, obviously, we mentioned him at the top of the show that he's going to have a big game as we look at a very happy fan with a Stanley Cup souvenir with the Capitals jersey on up there, catching that high, hard shot. But the importance that the Capitals have done tonight, the biggest difference between the previous 4 games, is they're taking the body and not worrying about the puck. Everybody's getting into the act. Michael Pavanka has had a couple of thunderous hits here in the second period. That gets going. That gets the bench going. That's why they played a complete game so far.
Ally of Brady trying to put a move on Troop. FERRARO looking for Hogue, but did not put it on the stick of the outstretched Benoit Hogue. Kasparaitis, final seconds of this second period. Moving in. Oh, and Beaupre was out of position. The Islanders not able to tee it up. And that will do it. Well, 0.1 tenths to the second remaining. Terrific scoring opportunity for the Islanders, but they were not able to connect. And with .1 seconds remaining. They'll face it off.
And it's their second breakdown defensively the Capitals have had. There's Al Iafrate trying to be a goaltender. He gets beat by Ray Ferraro. And look at 26, Patrick Flatley. But you notice there are 3 Capitals on top of him. He wasn't going to get a lick at that puck to score in the empty net as Dan Maruelli blows the whistle. But a good play by the Islanders keeping the pressure on late in this period. Ferraro, who's really been the story, he tries a nice move. It rolls off the end of his stick. That's the way it's been going for the Islanders. On the other hand, they have not been connecting on their chances. That probably their best chance other than Ferraro's 1 goal.
They'll drop the puck here, and then the horn will sound, ending the second period. Greg, the Capitals very fortunate Hunter scored in the second, because if not, we would have the same scenario as games 3 and 4. The Caps would have been heading to the dressing room with a 3-1 lead, as they did twice on Long Island. Instead, a 3-goal cushion for Don Beaupre and the Capitals. They have a 4-1 edge over the New York Islanders after 40 minutes in Game 5 of the Patrick Division semifinals from the Capitol Center.
You're watching HTS, a service of...
The Capitals have finally come up with that very elusive 4th goal. They now hold a 3-goal lead over the New York Islanders as we have played 40 minutes of Stanley Cup playoff hockey at the Capitol Center. Welcome back to Game 5 of these Patrick Division semifinals between the Caps and Islanders. Al Koken with you in case you missed any of the scoring. Let's run it down for you with our Chevrolet game scoring summary. Capitals got right to work at the 1:15 mark. Steve Konowalchuk, making his first appearance of the postseason, wins the faceoff, gets it right to Sylvain Cote, who drives a shot past Glenn Healy. And the Capitals were off and running with a 1-0 lead. But the red-hot Ray Ferraro answers back for the New York Islanders at 4:37, his 5th of the year in the postseason. A power play goal. Flatley and Malakoff get the assist. We were tied at 1. But then Al Iafrate continued his red-hot play. He pops in his 3rd goal in the last couple of games. Elenick and Ridley with the assist. That also a power play marker. Caps regain the lead. Then at 16:41, Iafrate one more time, his 4th of the postseason. Carpenter and Bondra assist him. The Capitals led 3-1 after 1. It was scoreless until 12:42 of period 2 when Dale Hunter just simply threw a shot towards the net. We thought it deflected off Pat Elenick, but they give the goal to Hunter, his 6th of the playoffs. Kristich and Elenick do come up with the assist, and that's where we stand right now. 4-1, and we will see if that is finally the magic number for the Capitals to make this hold up. We've got more ahead here on Intermission at HTS, and we'll get to it right after this.
In a car accident, most adults believe they can keep a child from going through the windshield. But in a 30-mile-an-hour collision, a 30-pound child accelerates toward the windshield with the force of a 450-pound child. Try keeping that baby in your lap. Which is why Geico makes child safety seats available to its customers at cost. Geico, we have only one policy: safety.
Now, a coast-to-coast savings event that only comes once a year. Announcing the National Jeep Sale at your Jeep and Eagle dealer. Buy or lease a 4-wheel drive Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo with special savings. Get $500 cash back when you buy or lease Wrangler. Buy or lease 4-wheel drive Cherokee Sport and get special lease rates and cash back. So hurry in today, because while our vehicles know no limits, our sales do.
See your National Capital Area Jeep and Eagle dealer, where you can expect the best.
Nipper and Chipper show us what the RCA home theater with SRS sound looks like. Now they show us what it feels like. Looks like, feels like. Looks like, feels like. Any questions?
Available at Baltimore Gas and Electric, Appliance and Home Electronic Centers. Call for the location nearest you.
O's keys to victory against the Twins.
Sears got a beat up on the Twins pitching.
Hit high in the air to deep right field. Back goes Munoz to the O's Twins. Wednesday night at 7:30 on HTS. It's the toughest game on 2 feet as the Madmen from down under make their mark, battling head-to-head, staking their claim as kings of the continent. Australian rules football.
Fridays at 4 on HTS.
Agassi, Sampras, Connors, cooking on clay at the AT&T Challenge. Last year, Andre beat Pete in an All-American final.
The world's best push the edge, the chalk, the talk, the walk. Not your typical players, not your typical game.
It's tennis to the limit, the AT&T Challenge.
Live quarterfinal coverage, Friday at 7 on HTS.
The Capitals scored the only goal during the middle 20 minutes, originally credited to Dale Hunter, maybe changed to Pat Elenick, but whoever it is, the Capitals with a 4-1 lead over the Islanders as we head to the third period. Kenny Albert along with Craig Laughlin. Craig, as we said at the end of the second period, a big goal for the Capitals to make it 4-1 instead of 3-2.
Absolutely. That goal was a huge goal, and the Capitals have played extremely well. This is their best 40 minutes that they have put together on a consistent basis this whole series. They're playing aggressive. They're playing smart. The Islanders are not getting a sniff. When they do get 1 or 2 good chances, number 33, Don Beaupre, is there to close down the fort, keep the score the way it is. So it's been a terrific game on the Capitals side.
And we'll take a look at the shot chart, starting with the Capitals, who threw 9 shots at Mark Fitzpatrick for a 2-period total of 20.
And the 9 shots, again, the Islanders doing a decent job, but number 17, Mike Ridley, with a couple, and number 34, he's been firing the puck all night long. Fitzpatrick replacing Healy, and we're going to pick up the goal here. And that one you talked about, who I still think is a Pat Elenick goal. Here we're going to pick it up with Dale Hunter down low. Kristich going to the net, but watch Elenick as he circles right in front. Pilon and Derek King just standing still. Why doesn't anybody go to him? They're caught flat-footed, and watch this play by Dale Hunter as he rifles it in front. Just a shot on net, the importance of putting the puck there. And there he is being taken out, and right there, if we hold it, there it is, right off this part of the leg, down low on Elenick. There's the puck going into the net. Great work by Elenick, being taken out by Baskey in front.
The goal came at 12:42, originally credited to Hunter from Elenick and Kristich. We'll have to wait and see if there's a change. Islanders with 8 shots in the second period for a 2-period total of 18.
And 8 shots, Kenny. The good thing about this whole shot chart, 1 good chance, and that's by number 77. Other than that, no sniff for the Islanders. Everybody above here. Number 33, when he was had to call on, he made the big saves for the Capitals. Tremendous period, tremendous 2 periods.
What do you look for here in the third?
I think the third period is going to be exciting once again, but the Capitals, they seem to be in control. Don't let them back in. Keep them on their heels. Go at them aggressively.
Well, the score after 2, the Washington Capitals 4, and the New York Islanders 1. We'll be back from the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland, right after this.
Filtered Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its smooth draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
Way back before the Pathfinders, before the Explorers, even before the Cherokees, there was Blazer. Now the first sport utility vehicle of its kind offers you all this and the performance of a 200 horsepower V6. You can spend thousands more on something else, but there's only one way to get the experience of a Chevy Blazer, the vehicle that originated the species.
Get on the fast track with the best in racing. NASCAR, Indy, NHRA, World Grand Prix, EMA Superbike, Motocross, USAC, Winston Cup, SCCA, Modified, World of Outlaws, Formula One, Highlight, Preview, and Review shows. All this and more on the fast track to excitement.
Right here on HTS.
What time is it? Time for NBA action. A high-flying hoop show that's on top of the game. Whose game is it? It's Michael Jordan's game. You get it all. The Belleville
the hottest players and teams,
Rest of the second.
your favorite personalities,
There's Dominic. Yes!
and the greatest plays of the week. All this and more coming your way in NBA action.
Catch NBA action Tuesdays at 6:30 on HTS.
Capitals game coverage on HTS is brought to you by your National Capital Area Jeep Eagle dealer. There's only one Jeep. By Safeway, nobody does it better. And by Lexus Luxury Automobiles, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection. The Washington Capitals lead the New York Islanders after 2 periods by the score of 4-1 here at the Capitol Center in Game 5 of the Patrick Division semifinals. Islanders have won 3 of the last 4 games, all in overtime. But here today, it's been the Al Iafrate show. Iafrate with 2 goals in the first period. Sylvain Cote with another. The Capitals defense has connected 3 times past the Islanders goaltenders. And before we get started in this third period, let's head downstairs to Al Koken. Al?
All right, Kenny, thank you. The way the Capitals have played these first 2 periods, they obviously don't want this series to end abruptly. And you can say the same thing now about the New Jersey Devils. When we last showed you highlights, it was all Pittsburgh as they held a 2-0 lead going into the second period. But the Devils have stormed back, and now they lead it by the score of 3-2 in the third. Well, let's show you a couple more highlights. The goals that tied the game and put New Jersey ahead. This is Bruce Driver with the Devils down 2-1, and the Devils killing off a penalty. Look at the play that the defenseman Bruce Driver makes, gets Ronnie Francis to go down, beats Tom Barrasso to the glove hand side, and that deadlocks the game at 2. We'll give you another angle of that goal. You'll see the great move the Driver makes to get first Ronnie Francis to commit, then also Barrasso to commit. Francis goes to try and stop it, and that provides a bit of a screen for Bruce Driver to work with. You can see Barrasso's just guessing, leans a little left, gets the glove hand out a little too late. That tied the game at 2. And the Devils continue to pour on the pressure still in the second period. Nice bit of passing here as they enter the zone. You see Shel Samuelson backing up just a little bit, and that'll open things off. Watch Peter Stastny with the puck. He'll whip a backhand pass over to Tommy Abilene, the defenseman coming up in the play. He lifts it over Tom Barrasso, and that's where the Devils have taken the lead by the score of 3-2. So a good game going on in the Civic Arena. Very good game going on here. We will see if the Capitals can hold on and even add to this lead as they have got another 20 minutes of regulation to go. And as we get ready for the start of period 3 with the Capitals coming back on the ice, we return you upstairs to Kenny Albert and Craig Laughlin.
Nice effect there, Craig. A double dose of Al Koken, live and on the monitor.
Can't beat that. There's a guy the Capitals are going to try to beat here in the third period. Mark Fitzpatrick, the youngster in goal. The guy, I think that, you know, Glenn Healy's a free agent at the end of the year. They're still looking for him to come through as their #1 goalie. He's the goalie of the future. They would like him to step forward. Right now in the playoffs, he's getting a little taste of it right now.
Well, Craig, they have officially changed. As you said, as we said, the last Capitals goal, it is Pat Ellinuck's 2nd of the playoffs, 6th of his playoff career. Hunter and Kristich on the assists at 12:42. It's taken about an hour, but Pat Ellinuck does get credit for the Capitals' 4th goal. And for Dale Hunter, his 1st assist of the playoffs.
A lot of work on that goal for Pat Ellinuck, crashing the net with Vasky. He deserved that one off the leg and in. So right now they're going to have to continue that same style of play. They've got to continue to be aggressive. They've really taken the initiative. They have not been passive in tonight's hockey game. That's why the puck has been turned over, especially deep in the Islander zone, where they're making the Islander defensemen pay the price when they pass the puck by rubbing them into the glass.
The view from behind, Islanders goaltender Mark Fitzpatrick, who will defend the goal to our right. Here in this third period, Don Potre to the left. Capitals out shooting the Islanders 20-18. Caps lead it on the scoreboard 4-1, Game 6 on Wednesday night at the Nassau Coliseum. A Game 7 would be played Friday here at the Capitol Center. Should the Caps tie the series at 3. We mentioned 11 teams have come back from 3-1 deficits to win a series. 9 of those 11 instances over the last 6 years. Capitals did it back in 1988. Islanders turned the trick twice, including 1987 over the Capitals.
That's the one I remember vividly, and I did not like that one at all.
And you played in that series, of course, for the Capitals. Here come the Islanders. Opening minute of play, third period. Turgeon across the Capital line. Nice move, beating Thomas, but he couldn't control the puck. Derek King in for the Islanders. Work free by Hatcher, who flips it into the stands.
That's a good play by the captain, Kevin Hatcher. They were putting on some pressure. You had Sneaky Pete out there and his line mates. They're trying to make something happen quickly. That's what Al Arbour wants to see. He wants to see some offense. That next goal for the Islanders is of utmost importance if they want to get back in this hockey game. And Kevin Hatcher, that's all that he has done throughout this game, getting the puck out. If they don't have a play, instead of just chipping it up the wall where they've been burned in the past games, they're throwing it into the stands or they're icing it. That's a smart play in playoff hockey.
Now the face-off will take place to the right of Don Beaupre. Dale Hunter up against Travis Green. It's the Capitals 4, the Islanders 1. Islanders win the draw. Baskey partially fanned on it, actually broke his stick. Races to the bench for a new one. Islanders work the puck along the boards. Mullen in the near corner. And a penalty on the Capitals. Alan May took Ryan Mullen hard into the corner boards. And as Mullen tried to get up, he had some words for Alan May. Brad Delgado in as well. But the original penalty, Alan May from behind, pushing Brian Mullen into the boards, right side of the Capitals' goal. And the Islanders will have the man advantage.
Here's Alan May working down low against Mullen, and there's that cross-check into the boards. That could be cross-checking or boarding. The referee's going to have to decide. I think it's going to be a boarding minor to Alan May. He's off in the box. But Alan May and guys like that who haven't played a whole lot in this series have come through for Coach Terry Murray in tonight's hockey game.
May set the tone early. First shift of the game with the 2 big checks, and then just a minute 15 in, Cote scored right off the face-off win by Konowalchuk. Alan May, 2 minutes for boarding, 45 seconds, so the Islanders go to their 4th power play of the night. Isles 1 for 3 so far with the extra skater. Isles going with Turgeon, King, and Thomas. Ridley and Miller out there for the Washington Capitals. Face-off near the Capitals' blue line. 2 goals for ally of Brady. Don Beaupre has played well in the Capitals' net. Islanders not able to keep the face-off in the zone. Kerber's at the red line. Here's Turgeon carrying in. Wrist shot, that goes wide. Rebound comes to King, and a skate save by Beaupre. It's cleared by Ridley. This top line of Turgeon, King, and Thomas, Craig, does not seem to have much jump as they did the first 4 games.
No, and I think that's the fatigue factor setting in. That line barely came off in the Long Island win in overtime. I mean, they went with 2 lines, and right now they're showing it. They don't have that jump that you mentioned, and that's hard to get back, especially when they're playing against a tough checking team, especially tonight here at the Capitol Center.
Derek King with no goals here in the playoffs. Just 2 assists in the 5 games. Face-off now at center between Turgeon and Ridley. Controlled by the cap, Johansson. And he sends all the way down. Malikov plays it for the Islanders with 30 seconds gone by the penalty. Ridley steers this one back towards the Islander goal. Tom Kerber is behind the net. Kerber goes up the middle. Played by Thomas, but he lost the handle. Turgeon behind the net, beating Thomas, walking in front. Now it comes to Kerber's. Islanders working around. Derek King along the right wing boards. Right point, Malikov. The return to King. Slides it in deep, Turgeon. And Ridley quickly fires down with under a minute to go on the Alan May boarding penalty.
The Capitals are really reading off the play well, not allowing that puck to get down low as Maruelli's trying to separate Kevin Hatcher and Steve Thomas. They had a run-in right in front of the bench, right in front of the net, Kevin Hatcher laying on the lumber on 32. Thomas, a feisty forward for the Islanders, maybe getting the worst of that one. Kevin Hatcher towers over top of him.
Hatcher and Thomas both head to the penalty box. Thomas has been involved with a number of Capitals throughout the series.
They each get 2 minutes for roughing at 1:52.
2 apiece for roughing at 1:52 will not affect the players' strength on ice. Islanders still with the extra skater.
Well, everybody's feeding off that first shift that you mentioned, Kenny, with Alan May out there running around a little bit. Kevin Hatcher, who hasn't really been all that physical in this series, now putting the lumber to guys standing in front, taking the body. You just feed off that. When you're a player and you see everybody else doing it, you've got to get into the act. That's why all 20 players tonight are doing it in the Capitals uniform.
Tom Kerber starts ahead, shoots in from the red line. Patrick Flatley, the Islanders captain, out to Kerbers. Kerbers goes across ice, a half minute remaining on the power play. Group, the return to Benoit Hogue in front, Flatley. Ferraro not able to handle it, and it's cleared out by Krieger. Islanders with just one shot so far during this power play. It's the Caps 4, the Islanders 1, with 2.5 gone by third period. Kerbers fires it around the boards. And it's cleared ahead by Kolzig. That will do it. Stepping out of the box is Alan May. Group around Iafrate behind the net, tries to center. Alan May on the right wing. May across the Islander line, gets the glove up high on Kerbers. Carried in by Flatley, under the stick of Hogue, played by Bondra. Bondra looking for Konowalchuk. Konowalchuk chasing along with Pilon, who will make the touch for the icing. 16:43 remaining. Here in the third, it's the Capitals 4 and the Islanders 1.
The new Lexus GS Luxury Performance Sedan. It not only corners better than the BMW 535i, but it rides smoother. Of course, if you still insist on feeling every pebble in the road, be our guest. See the GS at your Lexus dealer. The price is within reach, too.
Get on the fast track with the best in racing. NASCAR, Indy, NHRA, World Grand Prix, EMA Superbike, Motocross, USAC, Winston Cup, SCCA, Modified, World of Outlaws, Formula One, highlight, preview, and review shows. All this and more on the fast track to excitement.
Right here on HTS.
Face-off coming up to the right of Capitals goaltender Don Beaupre. Craig, the skipjacks and Binghamton Rangers are in overtime, tied at 3. The series deadlocked at 2. Binghamton during the regular season, 57 wins, 13 losses, 10 ties. Yet they're 1 goal away from trailing the series, 3 games to 2. Here at the Capitol Center, it's the Caps 4, the Islanders 1. Pilon behind the net. Sends it up the boards. It's in by Cavallini at the right point. Alan May with the backhander. Konowalchuk took the swipe at it. Now it goes through the crease off the stick of Konowalchuk, who's played well here tonight. And Fitzgerald of the Islanders carries to center. Fitzgerald shoots in. Sean Anderson backs it around the boards. Fitzgerald. Anderson puts the body to Mick Bakota. And the Capitals clear to center. Alan May with Keith Jones on the left. Alan May with the drive. That was blocked. Blocked by Fitzgerald. And this is Bakota for the Islanders. A rare shift for Mick Bakota. He took a hit from Cavallini. Ryan Brady back the other way. End-to-end action here in the third period. Dale Hunter keeps it alive. He's pinned by Dalgarno. Kristen's moving in. Dimitris Kristen. Elena in front. And Mullen back the other way for the Islanders. Ryan Mullen shoots in right side of the Capitals' goal. Late in the near corner. Green lost an edge. Elena on the right wing. 5 minutes gone by here in the third. It's the Capitals 4 and the New York Islanders 1. Fitzpatrick around the left wing side to Brian Mullen. Travis Green into the cap zone. Penalty coming up on the Capitals as Dalgarno was taken down by Elena. And the Islanders will go to their second power play of the third period. A hooking call on Pat Elena at 5:03.
Pat Olenek back checking through the neutral zone, got tied up. Here's Dalgarno, number 15, just chipping it ahead to his partner. And look at how Olenek just gets a stick there in his gut. Dalgarno falls down as the Islanders' Travis Green is ready to unload one against Beaupre. He's off in the box. The Islanders looking to get back in this hockey game. They go to the power play, 14:57 left in the third period.
So the face-off to the left of Don Beaupre. Islanders 1 for 4 with the extra attacker.
One thing I also noticed about this game, Kenny, in the past games, the games that they've lost in overtime, I thought the third and fourth line for the Islanders have outplayed the Capitals' third and fourth line and got more quality chances. It's the opposite tonight.
And the right point drive is stopped by Beaupre, and he keeps out the King rebound as well. Islanders' second power play of this period. Thomas moves in front, stripped by Hatcher, and he clears the center. Uwe Krupp for the Islanders. Watched by the forechecking Ridley. Krupp carries into the Capital zone. The drop pass to Thomas. His shot, stick save, and Hatcher clears the rebound.
The importance of the goaltender making the initial stop. Beaupre very confident in his play. He's making the initial one, getting a lot of support from his defenseman, especially number 4, the captain, Kevin Hatcher. Beaupre gets full sight of the puck. That's an easy stop for our goaltender. He stops Thomas, and number 4, Kevin Hatcher there. A simple play. Throw it into the stands, get the face-off so the Capitals can regroup and get on some fresh legs.
Now the face-off to the left of Capitals goaltender Don Beaupre. Turgeon steps in along with Dale Hunter. Off the draw, Cap's not able to clear. Malakoff feeding Turgeon to the far corner, looking in front. Off the stick of King. Now it's Thomas out at the left point. Herbert spins it into King, now behind the net, Turgeon looking for Thomas, but he couldn't find the handle. Turgeon in deep. Thomas under a minute to go on the power play. At the left point, kept in by Malakoff. His drive, a kick saved by Beaupre. Turgeon holds up at the circle. Turgeon. Thomas behind the net. Back to Turgeon. Thomas walks in front, stopped, and Butcher clears the rebound all the way down.
Steve Thomas just took a vicious two-hander at Kevin Hatcher's leg. It went undetected. That's why everybody's going after Thomas and King. Now you see Dale Hunter again, 232. They met up in Long Island. Now they're going at it, but the referee missed that blatant slash from Thomas. That's why this whole problem has started right at the Capitals bench.
Thomas was actually skating off towards the Islanders bench and went right back at Dale Hunter. Don Beaupre, 4 big saves during this Islanders power play. Dale Hunter joining Pat Elena in the Capitals penalty box. Steve Thomas headed off as well.
Here's how it starts on the reverse angle in the corner. There's Turgeon and Thomas playing catch here. And watch how Thomas grabs it, tries to get out, and watch this good two-hander. Boom, right across the right wrist. The referee doesn't pick up that one, and that stung Thomas. Thomas went off to the penalty box shaking that right hand. That's why he retaliated against Kevin Hatcher. That went undetected, and that's why Dale Hunter went after Thomas. He saw the slash. He's not going to put up for that. Your captain getting slash. Hunter right in the middle of things. He's going to get a minor penalty along with, I'm sure, Steve Thomas.
Still 24 seconds remain on the Pat Ellenuk hooking call. 13:21 to go here in the third. Capitals looking to stay alive, and they lead the Islanders by the score of 4-1. Still no announcement regarding the penalties. Fans doing the wave here at the Capitol Center, Craig.
That's why I'm jumping up and down. You haven't caught on to that.
Here it comes. And here are the penalty calls.
For New York, number 32, Steve Thomas, 2 minutes for roughing. For New York, number 27, Derek King, 2 minutes for cross-checking. For Washington, number 32, Dale Hunter, 2 minutes for roughing and 2 minutes for cross-checking. 4 minutes. Time of the penalty, 6:39. Once again for New York, number 32, Steve Thomas, 2 minutes roughing. Number 27, Derek King, 2 minutes cross-checking. For Washington, number 32, Dale Hunter gets 2 minutes for roughing and 2 minutes for cross-checking at 6:39.
So 2 minutes for roughing on Thomas, 2 for cross-checking on Derek King, and Dale Hunter, 2 for roughing, 2 for cross-checking at 6:36. So once again, this will not affect the manpower on ice for either team. Islanders will remain on the power play. Pat Ellenuk in the box for another 27 seconds. Greg, with the eye for 82 goals, the defense coming up with 3. You still have to look to the play of Don Beaupre. It's been a big key for the Capitals tonight. He stopped 23 Islander shots, playing for the first time in 10 days, showing no signs of rustiness.
Or maybe the team's playing a little bit different in front of Beaupre also. They know he might be a little bit rusty. You know, Beaupre's always going to be confident. He's a veteran of this type of action. But maybe they're playing a little hard, getting it going, because they know that he's got to come up with the big stops. But they're really helping him out and helping out his performance because they're clearing the puck. When the rebound's been left, the D or the forwards have been helping out.
Looks like Steve Thomas will head to the Islanders' dressing room to get his wrist checked out, and he has some words for Kevin Hatcher as he leaves the ice.
Well, in that interchange of slashes, Kevin Hatcher with a pretty good two-hander on Thomas. Thomas comes back. That's why the Capitals are a little bit upset. The first one, it went undetected, but Terry Murray a little bit upset at the bench still because that second slash Thomas gave to Hatcher was not picked up by the referee.
Malakov's pass was behind FERRARO. Johansson hit by Flatley. 10 seconds remaining on the Islanders' power play. Moving in his hole, looking for Kerbers. Kelly Miller for the Caps. Now out of the box comes Ellenuk. Islanders keep in. Flatley throwing in front. It's broken up by Johansson, and he clears down. So the Islanders now 1 for 5 on the power play as their special teams continue to struggle here in the series. Now we see the two rookies, Jones and Konowalchuk, along with Alan May. Offsides, Capitals ahead of the play with 12:32 to go. Here in the third, Keith Jones and the Capitals lead it 4-1.
People living with pain keep thanking me.
Thanks, Joe.
For Flexall 454, the aloe vera-based pain-relieving gel recommended by the athletic trainers in all major pro sports. Thanks, Joe. Living with pain? Get better. Get Flexall, the pain relief pro trainers recommend.
Stan Wong,
head athletic trainer of the Washington Capitals.
I would think anybody living with pain when you get older would be affected by the cold, and with Flexall, you have a way of managing that pain.
Flexall 454, the pain relief pro trainers recommend.
Toyota truck value. Value means lower repair costs. Value means higher resale value. And now the all-new Toyota T100, the big Toyota truck with full-size hauling capacity. Value means Toyota tough. And now there's no money down, no payments for 90 days on any Toyota truck. Now more than ever, when it comes to trucks, Toyota equals value.
Kenny Albert, Craig Laughlin out coaching. Back at the Capitol Center. Konowalchuk wins the draw from Green. Iafrate shoots in just wide. How about the amount of ice time Steve Konowalchuk tonight in his first career playoff game?
Played a great game for his first time in the playoffs. I mean, he should look like a veteran out there, and that's what you expect from some of these youngsters that come up. You'd like to see that type of performance, and Terry Murray's getting it from the kid.
Konowalchuk with the hit on Krupp behind the net. Played on the far side by Kasparaitis, who sends out with 12 minutes to go. Period number 3. Capitals leading the Islanders by the score of 4-1. Konowalchuk chasing. Tries to spin away from Kasparaitis. There's a mouthful. Konowalchuk and Kasparaitis. Mullen there for the Islanders behind the net. Whatever happened to those easy names like Laughlin? Delgarno feeding Krupp across the Capitals line. The look to return to Delgarno. Anderson. Cavallini. Paul Cavallini leads the run. Carpenter hit by Turgeon. Dennis Baskey for the Islanders. On the right wing, Fitzgerald with a quick push down the glove save by Beaupre, who hangs on. Don Beaupre. Outstanding game tonight, allowing only the first period goal by Ray Ferraro.
Pretty good wrister by Tom Fitzgerald. Just a wrist shot, rolling puck. It's the knuckleballer, but Beaupre holds on. He's looking to get it away, to give it to someone to take up the ice. And in comes crashing Baskey along with Paul Cavallini. Fitzgerald, pretty good shot there, but Dom Beaupre's sight of the puck is so important. The Islanders having no traffic in front of the goaltender, Beaupre. That's why they've been unsuccessful scoring goals. Only one on the board so far.
The Islanders out shooting the Capitals here in this third period, 7-1. Turgeon steps in against Michael Pivonka. Draws played by Carpenter. Cross ice, Peter Bondra. Bondra, the return to Pivonka, moving it all low, and Iafrate scores!
Here's the play, the beautiful, speedy Pivonka going to the net. Unselfish here, giving the Wild thing the playoff hat trick. Number 34 on top of his game. Wild thing scores goal number 5 for the Capitals. A hat trick for the big defenseman. One more look at it. At the Jeep Eagle Eye, the water bottle shot, top shelf, no mistake on that one. Fitzpatrick, no way he was going to stump that one. But Pivonka using his speed, he hasn't been used a whole lot tonight. Breaking down the wing on selfish play by Pivonka, setting up the defenseman.
Well, back in January at New York's Madison Square Garden, Kevin Hatcher became the first Capitals defenseman in the 19-year history of the club to score a hat trick. And now Al Iafrate joins the club. The 5th hat trick in Capitals playoff history, 2nd this year. Dale Hunter, of course, back in Game 2. Prior to that, Dino Ciccarelli with a pair, John Bruce the other. This is the Capitals' 5th playoff hat trick. And aside from a number of hats, some of those clappers that were given out prior to Game 1 and again here tonight.
I'm going to get you on a trivia question. Why is it called a hat trick?
Why is it called a hat trick?
Why is it called a hat trick? This is Locker's trivia question for the night.
Tradition.
No, it's not tradition. Where did it evolve from?
It's been called a hat trick for 100 years.
Why?
Do you know?
Yes, I do know.
All right, let's go.
Okay, it evolved out of the game of cricket, played in England, when a guy would score 3 points and 3 goals in the game of cricket, he was awarded a hat at the end of the game, and that became known as the hat trick. Now it's used around the NHL, and you say forever, it has, but evolved out of the game of cricket.
So during many of your international trips to London, you picked that one out.
One more look at the goal. The only reason I knew that is I never scored one, and I always wanted to know why they called it a hat trick. There's the play, a beauty, top shelf, the Caps in control, 5-1, 11-11 left here in the third.
Al Iafredi in that zone we spoke about, giving the Capitals a 5-1 lead. You mentioned it, unselfish play by Michael Plavaca, who has not really gotten on track here in the playoffs, picks up his second point of the series. Time of the goal, 8:49. Iafredi's fifth from Plavaca and Vondra. As the cleanup crew continues to sweep the clappers and the hats off the ice. They can give these things out again at Game 7. They'll have enough downstairs near the locker room when they get all of them off the ice.
I'd like a few of those hats.
Cover up what?
Never had a hat trick. Always wanted to score a hat trick. Never had the opportunity, and Big Al comes through.
The public address announcer Marv Brooks instructing fans to please hang on to your clappers as we take a look at Capitals General Manager David Poile on the left, Keith Elaine, the Caps goalie coach, on the right, and strolling by with the yellow sweater, Bob Fichet of the Washington Post.
David still has that concerned look on his face. There's still a lot of hockey left. 11-11, even though his club well in control of this hockey game. He knows it's still going to be a lot of hockey, still a lot to go in this series.
11-11 to go here in the third. It's the Capitals 5 and the New York Islanders 1. 3 goals for Al Iafredi. Sylvain Cote with 1, Pat Elenick with the other. As we mentioned, this is the second hat trick by a defenseman in Capitals history. While we have a moment, let's check in once again with Al Koken.
All right, Kenny, while we've got this opportunity, let's run down the other scores for you right now with the Washington Post scoreboard. In this Pittsburgh, New Jersey game, the momentum continues to shift. Last time we told you it was New Jersey 3-2. Very quickly, the Pittsburgh Penguins have answered back. Ronnie Francis tied it. Then Daniels comes up just a few seconds later and gets the goal that has put Pittsburgh on top 4-3 that game in the third. It's tied up at 3-3 between Montreal and Quebec. The Canadiens getting goals from Keane, Desjardins, and Damphus, while Kovalenko, Nolan, and Sundin have scored for Quebec. Now, the big story in this game, Patrick Roy apparently has been injured. The Montreal goaltender is out of the game. He has been replaced by Andre Rasico. Right now, they are still in overtime. The Baltimore Skipjacks, the Capitals' top farm club, they are tied up with Binghamton at 3-3 in overtime. We'll, of course, let you know when we get a final score there. And it's 5-0. The Chicago White Sox leading the Baltimore Orioles. Frank Thomas with a 3-run homer. One thing before I send it back up to Kenny and Craig, one of the problems they're having out there, not only is there a lot of debris out there, but because a lot of idiots in the stands threw those plastic clappers, when they land, they shattered. Some of them did. So that means there's some tiny pieces of plastic on the ice. And as Craig Loughlin can attest to, it takes just the smallest implement and impediment on the ice to actually get the edge of a skate to go off and have a guy could get seriously hurt, particularly near the boards. If you lose your edge at full steam and crash into the boards, you could really have an injury. So that's why they're taking a lot of time, not just getting all the clappers and hats off, but to try and make sure they get as many of the small plastic broken pieces off the ice. Dan Mariuelli, we see Sylvain Cote down here in the corner. down in the corner where we are right now, you can see him picking up little tiny pieces of plastic to try and make sure all of that is taken up off the ice. So this is certainly going to be a very serious factor with the remaining 11-11 to go in this game to make sure nobody gets hurt. Well, let's head it back upstairs now to Kenny and Craig as Dan Maruelli, the referee, has now taken hold of a broom and continues to do some mop-up work.
Thanks, Al. Craig, we've done an extensive check of the record books, and by our calculations, the last defenseman to score a hat trick in the playoffs, Doug Hallward of the Vancouver Canucks back in 1984. Dennis Potvin did it back in 1981. And prior to that, you have to go all the way back to 1971 when Bobby Orr scored 3 goals in the playoffs. Also, Paul Reinhart did it twice, 1983 and 84. So Doug Hallward and Paul Reinhart.
And Paul Reinhart, Kenny, when he was playing in those years, he often played forward. He was a very versatile forward. I wouldn't call Paul Reinhart just a defenseman because he also played wing on those teams. But Al Iafrate has only played defense here for the Capitals and throughout his NHL career.
Reinhart actually did it one day after Hallward. So Paul Reinhart, April 8th, 84, playing for Calgary, the last defenseman to score a playoff hat trick. Here in the postseason, 1993, 4 hat tricks, 2 by the Capitals. Hunter and Iafrate, Brian Noonan of Chicago, Teemu Selanne of the Winnipeg Jets. You go back in the record books, not many defensemen have scored 3 goals in a playoff game. Let's go back downstairs now one more time to Al Koken.
All right, Kenny, I just also found something else out. Not only were those little pieces of plastic from the clappers out there, but some real idiot in the stands threw a Jim Beam bottle, a bottle of bourbon on the ice, and so they're not only worrying about the plastic pieces, but glass shards as well. They apparently have got it all done, and we'll get the face-off here, but that's why they were taking extra special care, not only with those little pieces of plastic, but you can really see how loose glass shards on the ice could really cause a tremendous injury.
Thanks, Al. We're ready for the face-off here. Things have been cleaned up here on the ice at the Capitol Center. The Capitals up 5-1 here. Looking to get it going, looking to head back to Long Island. And the pressure in that game, Kenny, goes right back onto the young Islander players. They do not want to return to the Cap Center with the fans involved the way they are tonight to face a 7th game here at this arena.
Game 6, Wednesday, at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Uniondale, New York. Game 7 here at the Capitol Center on Friday night. Kruk into the Capitol zone. Uwe Kruk behind the Caps net with the centering speed, and Beaupre gloves it before Fitzgerald could get his stick on the puck.
Fitzgerald's logged a lot of ice time. He's made a couple of good plays there. He's trying to whack one out of midair. I think he caught most of the glove of Don Beaupre, not much of the biscuit. But Fitzgerald and company really have not generated a whole lot of offense. We haven't seen a whole lot of number 77 also in this period. Thomas, his winger, went to the dressing room for some repairs, I think on his wrist, taking that slash from Kevin Hatcher. So right now, the Islanders mostly going with the FERRARO line along with the Fitzgerald line, and then subbing in the Loisel line, their 4th line.
Now the draw to the right of Capitals goaltender Don Beaupre. Al Iafrate wanted to come on, but the referee Dan Maruelli says no. 10:49 to play here in the 3rd period. Capitals 5, Islanders 1. Here's the drive by Curvers. He did not get good wood on it. Played him in the near corner by Flatley. Keeps it away from Kristich. Benoit Hogue tries the return, but it was in the skates of Flatley, and the Capitals move it out. Curvers poking it away from Kristich. Now the puck back in the Capital zone. Played by Cote. So after the Capitals defense was held scoreless, Craig, the first 3 games of the series, they have come up with 6 goals of the last 8 scored by the Capitals. Iafrate with 2 in game 4, 3 tonight. Here's FERRARO, and he has his 6th of the series.
The Capitals so worried about Pierre Turgeon. This number 20 has been lighting the lamp in the Capitals' goal. What a play once again. Is he on his game or what? Ray Ferraro with the burst of speed. A little bit of confusion at the Capitals' blue line. It's a 2-on-1. Benoit Hogue goes to the net. Cote goes with him, but Hogue takes the man. That allows that seam to be open, and Ferraro very patient with the puck. There's the problem right there at the blue line. Kelly Johansson falling down, and look at this play right here. Look at the patience. That's when you know a guy is on his game. He's very calm and cool. He puts it up over top of Don Beaupre.
Ferraro number 6 from Flatley at 9:54. So the Islanders are pulled within 5-2. 2 goals tonight for Ray Ferraro. A pair of assists for Patrick Flatley. The Capitals lead the Islanders by the score of 5-2 with 9:40 to play, third period. Krieger across the Islanders line, holds up. Now he shoots one, a wrist shot. Johansson sends back behind the net. Miller hit by Malikov. Ridley over as well, tries to work it free. Ridley held to the boards by Derek King. Now the quick shot by Kelly Miller. Fitzpatrick got a piece of that one. Johansson sends to the far corner, Krieger. Mike Ridley near side. Caps doing a good job keeping the puck in the Islanders' zone. Here's Bondra turning and shooting. Johansson straight away. That was blocked. Bondra keeps it alive. Islanders defense, Greg, is very tired here.
Well, they're standing around, and that's a sure sign of fatigue, but give a lot of credit to the pressure the Capitals are putting on. They're not laying back in their heels, even though the Islanders got that goal. Notice where the puck has been the next 1 minute or so, down in the Islander zone. They're taking it right back to them, getting it in deep, causing the Islander defense some problems.
Here come the Islanders once again. Cote knocks it out of the blue line. Cross ice, Iafrate. He's hit by Delgado. Cote tries to play it ahead. Kept in by the Islanders, Green. Green behind the net. All into the near corner. Looking for Kasparaitis. Carpenter and Delgado come together. Iafrate behind the net. Now it's the Islanders applying pressure. Blocked in front by Iafrate as the Capitals come to center. Bondra took a shoulder from Kasparaitis. Uwe Krupp hit to the board. Islanders moving in. Travis Green. Green still with it, has some room. He shoots. That save is made by Beaupre, and the puck is cleared by the Capitals.
A little bit of problem in the Capitals zone. 2 guys going to 1 man. They've got to get back to basics. Play man for man when they're trying to roll out of that corner using that pinwheel rotation. If they don't, guys like Travis Green are going to get chances like he just had there.
7:40 to go. Here in the third period from the Capitol Center. It's the Capitals 5 and the New York Islanders 2. Oaks pass broken up by Jones. Jones leads May. Konowalchuk in deep along with Pilon. Konowalchuk behind the net. What a game for the rookie Steve Konowalchuk. Konowalchuk comes out with the puck, took a hit. Ray Ferraro. Ferraro with both Islanders goals tonight. He has the Islanders' last 3 goals in the series. Benoit Hogue floats one in front of Flatley, and that was blocked. Blocked by Johansson. Beaupre hangs on with 7:07 to play.
This has been a very effective line throughout the playoffs for the Islanders, as Patrick Flatley is a cornerman supreme. He's doing a nice job, but Ferraro, the gunner on this line, doing a nice job scoring the goals for them, putting some pressure. There we get a look at the captain, Patrick Flatley, after taking that stick to the face there. He's back in action, and here's Travis Green, and that's the play. Watch him roll out of the corner. Both Capitals go to him. Michael Pavonka and Iafrate. He gets to circle out. That's that pinwheel rotation. Nice right save with the pad by Donnie Beaupre.
Craig, a final from Baltimore in overtime on a goal by John-Yves Wild. The Binghamton Rangers have defeated the Skipjacks 4-3. So Binghamton takes a 3-2 lead in their best-of-7 series, which continues Wednesday at the Broome County Civic Center.
A disappointment, but I tell you what, those Baltimore Skipjacks have done a whale of a job against a team like that. That's half the New York Rangers team down there, and they've really stuck into playing a fine game. Barry Trotz, Paul Gardner, they should be given a lot of credit for the way they have performed in the playoffs. That's a nice job of coaching, getting the team prepared to face off against a team such as the Binghamton.
Yeah, players such as Sergei Zubov, Alexei Kovalev, Golden Corey Hirsch down at Binghamton. Binghamton won game 3, 8-3, but the Jacks came back to win game 4, 3-1. 6:40 to go. Period at number 3. It's the Capitals 5 and the Islanders 2. Fitzpatrick plays the bouncer. Malikov there for the Islanders. Malikov up the left wing boards. Loisel. This is Fitzgerald. Beaupre winds to the far side. Kristich. Dmitry Kristich on the right wing. Elena. And Elena backhands in. This will be icing on the Capitals as Krupp touches up. Craig, how about this note passed along as you take a look by the Capitals bench? Dave Starman, who does some radio color for the Islanders and the Capitals. The Islanders' last 6 playoff victories have been in overtime. They have not won a playoff game in regulation since April of 1987 against Philadelphia. The 3 overtime games in this series. And then 1990, their only playoff win was in overtime, double overtime, Brett Sutter against the Rangers. Then back in '88, they lost to the Devils in the first round, 4-2. Both wins were in overtime on goals by Brett Sutter and Pat LaFontaine. Now coming in front is Casper Ladies-O, and Hatcher keeps that one out. Beaupre was sprawled to the ice, and Kevin Hatcher cleared the puck out of the crease. That's an amazing stat. The Islanders' last 6 playoff wins have all come in overtime. And they haven't lost in overtime during that stretch. Capitals penalty upcoming, delayed call as Fitzpatrick heads to the bench. Derek King to Dalgarno. Dalgarno in the near corner, out to the point. Here's Krupp straight away. In front, score! Ferraro does it again!
Well, hold on to your pants here. We're not done here. The Islanders storming back, number 20. Unbelievable. That puck is just going to a stick like a magnet once again. Ferraro's getting them right back in this hockey game. It's a delayed penalty call on the reverse angle, so they have 6 attackers on the ice. Fitzpatrick on the Islander bench. And look at this, all alone. It's actually a one-on-one again. Somehow he slides it underneath the goaltender through the 5-hole, beating down Beaupre. Here's the play. King, a nice job getting to Uwe Krupp, and a nice pass in as Krieger takes his man, Turgeon. No one's there to pick up Ferraro. He slides it underneath the Capitals goaltender.
3 goals today for Ray Ferraro.
Well, this is a dream for that kid. Al had the chance to talk to him in the Capitals report. Says he was just in amazement of how he's been playing and just the way the goals have been coming for him. They seem to come in bunches, and he just puts that one in. The Islanders are not out of this game yet.
And here they come, down by 2. Dalgarno looking to center. Dalgarno still with it. Broken up by Kotek. Here's Kotek. Trying to split through across the Islander line. He fires one wide. The assist on the Ferraro goal. Patrick Flatley with 1. And we'll have to pick up the other in a moment. Play is whistled down with 5:01 to go in this 3rd period.
One Islander fan, I guess, here in attendance at the Capitol Center, the hat right next to Beaupre, signifying that goal by Ray Ferraro. Once again, the hat trick for number 20, Coach Al Arbor's Islanders.
Krupp and King the assists at 14:22. A final from Pittsburgh. The Devils have been eliminated 5-3 by the Pittsburgh Penguins. And here the Capitals lead the Islanders 5-3. 5 minutes, 1 second to go. Ray Ferraro keeping the Capitals fans on the edge of their seats with 2 goals here in this 3rd period. He has the Islanders' last 4 goals of the series. Think back to game 2, he very well could have been credited for that overtime count. Here come the Islanders. Hope chasing on the left wing along with Cote, but a 2-line pass. 2-line pass is called on the Islanders.
Benoit Hogue coming into tonight's game, 4 points 4 penalty minutes. He's a goal scorer. He's still suffering a little bit from his hand, both King and Hogue. Hogue's got the sore knuckle and King's got the broken finger, and they've been the snipers for this hockey club. Hogue missed part of the season with that knee injury, but he came storming back at the end of the season. There's Terry Murray, I think, showing a little more concern now. They were very much in control at 5-1, but 2 quick goals have got the Islanders back in this hockey game. 4:38 left to here in the third period.
Darius Kasparaitis for the Islanders. Kasparaitis around Hatcher, the centering pass. Here's King, top of the circle. That was blocked. Picked up in the far corner by Pavak, and he clears. Bondra chasing after. Here's Peter Bondra. Oh, Fitzpatrick with the save. Stopping Peter Bondra on the breakaway. Big stop for Islanders goaltender Mark Fitzpatrick.
And they've got a bonus out there. Steve Thomas has returned from the dressing room, so now he's going to get some ice time. He should be well refreshed, number 32 for the Islanders. That's going to be a missed opportunity that might come back to haunt you. You never want to miss a glorious chance to score and really put this game away, because you know the other team's going to come down and get a good chance. And here's that Peter Bondra break right in, one-on-one. He tries to go to his forehand. Fitzpatrick right across the crease, the right idea for Bondra, but he didn't get it up into the top shelf, and that's why Fitzpatrick just rolled across the crease, hit him in his catching glove. One more look at it. Peter Bondra on the reverse angle, streaking in all alone. There's that sprawling save. Bondra knew he had to get it up. He didn't get it up high enough, quick enough. Fitzpatrick coming up with a game saver for the Islanders.
Now it's Curvers for the Islanders. Pilon. And the Islanders clear to center. 3:45 to go. Third period. It's the Capitals 5, Islanders 3. Hat-trick for Ally Afraidy of the Caps. Ray Ferraro of the Islanders. First time in Caps history that there have been 2 hat-tricks. One by each team in the same game. The other Capital goals, Sylvain Cote and Pat Elliott. Once again, the Islanders ahead of the play at offsides with 3:29 to go. Well, you can call them the never-saved Islanders. The Islanders came back from 3-1 late third period deficits, game 3 and 4 here tonight. Islanders could have given up, down 5-1 midway through this third period, but 2 more goals by Ray Ferraro. On the draw just outside the Capitals line. Here's Malakoff with the drive. Oh, he hit the post. He hit the post behind Beaupre. And a collective sigh of relief from the Capitals fans. Vladimir Malakoff hitting the post. It would have been a 1-goal game. Icing on the Capitals. You know, you talked about when it was 5-1, the Capitals having all the momentum heading into game 6, but what a surge here by the Islanders.
Well, the Capitals have stopped playing. They're not playing their game as they have been for 2.5 periods. This last 10 minutes has been a nightmare. The Islanders really getting some quality chance. Malakoff, as you mentioned, Kenny, shaking his head a little bit. He ripped that shot. Ally Afraidy Malakoff, one of the hardest shots on this Islander hockey club. Beaupre screened on it, and look at that, beats him cleanly to the blocker's side. But the goaltender's best friend coming up with a save for him right there off the pipe and out. The Capitals fortunate to just be ahead by 2. It could have been easily 1 goal.
Islanders now shooting the Capitals 10-5 here in this third period. Turgeon wins the draw. It's kicked towards the goal, and Beaupre has to cover up once again. The Islanders will certainly milk every last second out of this one.
That's the way they played all season long, especially that last 30 games of the season just to get into the playoffs. These teams are so even. You look at the Islanders' record, they could have easily been in second place, Kenny. I mean, they lost to Tampa Bay, they lost to Ottawa, they had some games that they should have won, and they would have been in second place. So these teams match up very evenly.
Here's Malakoff with the drive, and a blocker saved by Beaupre. Hunter flips the puck all the way down, and once again, the Capitals have iced the puck. And Steve Thomas, Dale Hunter having words in front of the Capitals bench.
A little bit of dancing going around there. I'm sure they're just saying to each other, hey, we're going to see a lot more of each other. There's still got a lot of hockey left here. The Capitals now just content on dumping it out, but that's going to play into the Islanders' hands. The Islanders, a team that likes to quickly counter. If you keep dumping it, the Islanders are going to get quality chances on Beaupre.
And the Islanders have pulled goaltender Mark Fitzpatrick with 2:51 to play. Down 2 goals, I guess you could say a smart move here by Coach Al Arbour.
Al Arbour wants to do something, but you know what the smart move is putting out FERRARO. Off goes Fitzpatrick, on comes number 20. He's been their hero in this series.
Everything FERRARO touches goes into the net. Off the draw, Thomas. Thomas centering pass. It's loose in the slot. Delgado cannot get the stick on it. Here comes Ridley. Ridley shoots for the empty net. It's wide. No icing. He was on the offensive side of the red line. Islanders with the extra attacker. Caps lead 5-3. This is Ray Ferraro with 7 goals in the series. The lead to Turgeon. Moving in, he shoots. And Beaupre with the big stop. Now it comes in front. Out to the point. Here's the drive. It's blocked. Delgado to Krupp. He shoots. That was stopped by Beaupre. Ferraro scores! Ray Ferraro's 4th goal of the game.
I just don't know what has gone on here. The Capitals just not playing anymore. They're laying back. The Islanders had 4 great chances. You give them 5 and someone's going to score. And I just mentioned number 20. Here's the hard shot from Krupp at the point. The Islanders just controlling. They've got that extra guy. Look at Turgeon. Just throw it in front. And who's there to backhand it home? The guy said that Al Arbour would put out there for sure. This must be a dream for this guy, Ferraro. Everything he touches goes in the net. Beaupre upset with the team. He's smacking his stick. There's Ferraro being checked down and out, but he still somehow gets the puck over top of Beaupre. Wow. Here's one more look at it. There's a great shot by Krupp. Beaupre can only make so many saves in a flurry like that. The Islanders keep it alive. And look at that. He's even being checked right there and checked very hard by Kelly Miller, but he still gets the handle on it. 2:15 left to go. Do not leave. This is unbelievable.
Craig, you think back to the great playoff performers in NHL history, and you have to add this guy to the list. 2 overtime goals in the series, an assist on the other one, and 4 goals tonight. He has single-handedly brought the Islanders back to within 1 goal. It's the Capitals 5 and the Islanders 4. Ray Ferraro with 4 goals tonight.
The Islanders now trying to regroup, get some fresh legs. They're really sending out a different formation here. 4 guys across, only 1 guy back.
Off the face-off, puck in the Islander zone. They trail by 1, 5-4. Fitzpatrick back in the Islander goal. Here comes Uwe Krupp shooting in. Fitzgerald on it. Oh, and it goes just wide. Under 2 minutes to play. And a penalty call. It looks like it's on the Islanders.
And it is, and this is not a good penalty for the Islanders to take at this time of the game. It was all Islanders the last 10 minutes. Merwelli says, I've seen enough. He's going to get a slashing minor. Fitzgerald, I think he took a whack at Beaupre in front, but we're going to have to take one more look at it. But the fans here up a little bit here. Fitzgerald smacking the glass. Here's the play by Fitzgerald. He gets the little hook by Pivonka, but watch him in front. There's the slash across Beaupre's glove and arm. The referee, Merwelli, picks that one up. He's off in the box. 1:56 left to go here in the third, and here's one more look at the slash. This puck goes wide. There's the hack right there. They're going to call that when you smack a goaltender. Merwelli in perfect position to make that call.
Fitzgerald for slashing 1804. Craig, Ray Ferraro, 4 goals today on 4 shots in the series. 8 goals on 14 shots. He has a better percentage shooting-wise than most NBA players. Now the key here, when the Islanders pull Fitzpatrick, the Caps can fire the puck down at the empty net without worrying about icing. It's a Capitals power play there for.
Well,
a minute 50 to go.
The Capitals can get called for icing because they're on the power play.
Right, the Capitals on the power play.
Can get called for icing.
The Islanders wouldn't.
Right.
When they shoot in.
Right, and that means they're going to storm the Capital zone.
Here's Kristich putting behind the net. Dale Hunter. In deep for Vanka. Capitals killing off time, a minute 30 to go. Capitals have needed all 5 goals they've scored. Here's Hatcher's drive. That was blocked. Dumps to Bobaccia in the near corner. Capitals will just try and play keep away from the Islanders. Now the Islanders moving ahead. Flatly with Ferraro. We'll keep our eyes on Fitzpatrick as the Islanders shoot in. Beaupre plays it up the left wing boards. A minute 10 to go. Beaupre was taken down. No call on the play as the referee Maruelli stops play with a minute 5 remaining.
Don Beaupre, who's really been going to by this Islander team in this period. There's that little foot getting caught, and then the hit from behind. But Beaupre was off balance a little bit. A pretty good acting job there, trying to draw that penalty on the reverse angle. But he got nailed hard from behind. He went flying. But he was off balance there, getting caught with his leg.
1:05 to go. The fans on their feet here at the Capitol Center. Remember the last 2 games, Caps had 3-1 leads with 9 and 8 minutes to go, respectively, in each game. Here tonight, it was 5-1. Midway through this 3rd period, and Ray Ferraro has scored 3 consecutive goals. It's the Capitals 5, the Islanders 4.
And there, Al Arbor's on the bench. He's like on his diving board there. He wants a penalty against Don Beaupre for diving. But Maruelli's not going to have any part of that. Beaupre was hit pretty hard from behind by the Islanders. And now the Islanders are going to take a timeout to regroup in the penalty-killing situation.
You know, for a true hockey fan, forgetting any allegiances to either the Capitals or the Islanders, looking at this series objectively, what a tremendous series this has been. Game 1, Capitals score 3 in the 3rd to win 3-1. Then the next 3 games all go into overtime, 2 into double overtime. Here tonight, 5-1 lead on the I.F. Brady hat trick. And then the Islanders come storming back. Ray Ferraro with a 4-goal evening. And the Islanders have pulled within 1 minute 5 seconds remaining. And the face-off will take place in the neutral zone with the Capitals on the power play. And you think back, Malikov hitting the post a few moments ago before Ferraro's 4th goal. Caps win the draw. Now 1 minute to go. 3rd period. Hatcher shoots in. Islanders will look to get Fitzpatrick out of there. Uwe Krupp behind the net. Tries to spin away from Kristich. Krupp with assists on the last 2 Ferraro goals. Here comes Fitzpatrick. Islanders with the extra skater, so it's now a 5-on-5. The centering pass broken up by Hunter. Here's Dale Hunter moving to center. Dmitry Kristich shoots, and hits the post. It's the outside of the post. Hunter from a bad angle. That was blocked. Half a minute to go. Capitals keep the puck in. Kristich behind the net with 27 seconds to play. Remember, the Capitals tied the last game here at home with 2.6 seconds remaining. Let's see if the Islanders can get another shot at it. Here's Turgeon, hit by Hatcher. Ferraro is on the ice for the Islanders as the Capitals. Miller tries to clear. He does. Picked up by Hunter. He shoots, and he scores! Even the Islanders can't score 2 goals in 7.5 seconds.
No way. Finally, the big goal from number 32, Dale Hunter. The Islanders putting on some decent pressure, even in this penalty-killing situation. And here's Dale Hunter working along the wall with Kelly Miller. He'll get an assist. Miller hooking the defenseman right there. And here it is, one-on-one with Uwe Krupp. And he's not even going to pick a corner. He's just going to send it into the wide-open net, right into the middle.
Big goal by Dale Hunter. 7.5 left to go. This is the Capitals game. They're going to go to Long Island. Kevin Hatcher and Kelly Miller with the assists for Kevin Hatcher. His first point of the series, 1952, the power play, empty net goal. And we're headed back to Long Island. Final seconds, third period. Alan May, Claude Loisel tied up at center as the buzzer sounds, ending the hockey game. The final score, what looked to be a rout, but the Islanders came back. Ray Ferraro having a Cinderella spring. The final score, the Washington Capitals 6 and the New York Islanders 4. The Islanders lead the series 3 games to 2. Game 6 at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Uniondale, Long Island, as you look at Capitals owner Abe Poland. Game 6 Wednesday, and then Game 7 here at the Capitol Center on Friday night. The Capitals win it 6-4 with the hat trick. Al Iafrate, and he's standing by with Al Koken.
All right, thank you, Kenny. Well, the Capitals certainly need every goal from Al Iafrate and everybody else. Well, this has been a wild series, Al. No lead seems to be safe.
Oh, yeah, you know, they pulled the goal in, you know, kind of came back a little bit, but they didn't quite have enough, and, you know, we won the game. We deserved to win.
I was going to say, I mean, the obvious thing was you guys, I thought, showed a lot of killer instinct early. You get them down by a couple goals, you made it 3, you made it 4, something that seemed to be missing in this game. You guys kind of let it all off tonight.
Yeah, you know, we capitalized on our chances, you know, grow on a 3-1 lead. You know, then we got 4-1, then 5-1. So then they came back a little bit, and then, you know, Dale scored the goal there.
Let's take a look at Al's goals, and as Sylvain Cote got the Capitals started, it was tied up. Then on the power play, you get them back in the lead.
Oh, yeah, you know, it was a perfect pass, and I used the forward there as a screen. Just feed him right through the legs there.
It looks like you really are starting to shoot the puck a little more, too. Are you being a little more aggressive yourself?
Well, here's a perfect pass by Carpenter. As soon as I got it, I shot it. Can't, you know, can't fault the goalie there.
Yeah. Now we're also going to see one. You talk about a perfect pass. This is the other one that was the beauty. Michael Pavanka set you up perfectly.
Yeah, that was a perfect pass. Goalie didn't have a chance. You know, he was playing Pavanka and threw the puck back to me, and he was moving, and he had to stop and come back. And
now, obviously, you'd like to be up 3 games to 1, but it seems like when you get in this situation, you can kind of let everything out. I know that now you've put the pressure back on the Islanders. It seemed like this team, despite the fact that it was 1 game and out, you seem to be a pretty loose team tonight, a confident team tonight.
Yeah, you know, we played well. We know we're good enough to get the lead. And, you know, we got the lead and kept growing on it. That was the main thing. We weren't satisfied with 3-1. We just kept it going.
Well, as Al's friend Lenny Kravitz says, are you going to go my way? He took him that way tonight. Good job. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Al Iafrate, our star of the game. Back to Kenny and Craig. Good job.
Thanks, Al, and for being our guest during the post-game show. Al Iafrate, who scored the hat trick tonight, will receive a gift certificate for the Sheraton Inner Harbor Hotel in Baltimore or the Sheraton, Washington. The final score in Game 5 of the Patrick Division semifinals, the Washington Capitals 6 and the New York Islanders 4. Back with more from the Capitol Center in just a moment.